Trickiest part I have to say is probably the braking zones for me. Ended up braking a lot more than I needed to most of the time. There's some tricky corners, some fast corners. A bit scary at times, but it's amazing.
Over on the Power Stop Speed Stop, Dan Howe put his Monte Carlo just ahead of Linda Jacobs-Chevelle. This one she calls Wimpy, and put one more point over James Shipka by doing so. Lazorek, Hobaugh, and Wu all traded spots, but eventually it would come down to Wu and Hobaugh. Hobaugh on the right-hand side of your screen with a second-gen Camaro once again. But Larry Wu would come out here and get the better of the two times with an 883 to a 903. For our Recaro GTS category in the road course, Roselle did an awesome job there as he posted a time of 2:30.08 over Fleming. And then in the Power Stop Speed Stop, it was Williams who was on top of the field, followed by Barnes, and the overall going to Barnes, then Roselle, and Barnes wins the Recaro GTS Championship. And the invite going to Randy Johnson.
Well, I'm super excited. I came here, it's home track, and like I said earlier, the competition was crazy stiff as far as, every driver is a pro, really. Everybody's really good. So to be able to get an invite amongst all those guys, that was awesome.
Here are the results for the GTV class, and we'll start off with the Falcon Tires road course. Wu was the best there with a time of 2:31.77 over Lazorak. In the Power Stop Speed Stop, it was Wu once again with an 18:38 in combined times. And the overall goes to Wu with a total score of 479. 14 points was the difference between a championship. John Lazorak wins the GTV championship, and the invite going to James Shipka.
We had a real tough job ahead of us this weekend. We had to qualify on points, and we had nothing but problems. Earlier today, we broke a sway bar link. We thought we had a spare. It wound up not being one available, so we kind of patchworked together broken parts, made it work, got out on the track. I got the one good road course lap I needed in. This is an intimidating track. I had to run with parts I didn't know were going to hold. I got the one lap in, and if it weren't for just the luck of that one lap, it would have been all over.
For our road course and GTC, Budislich did a good job there as he was on top, had a good run there over Vandermeer. And then in the GTC category for the speed stop, Budislich again over Vandermeer and Barnhouse. And the overall for the GTC goes to Budislich with 395 points, and the invite going to Thomas Litton in the 1997 Miata.
It's been a long road to get here. We started with one car. It blew up in Vegas. I ended up borrowing my mom's car for Denver. We tried to get this Miata built, didn't get it done for Denver. Finally finished it up Monday before we came down here. And it was a long haul all the way from Montana, but I'm surprised at how well it did. Definitely shook it down, found a few things we need to adjust on it, but it'll be pretty fun for Vegas.
Finally, for our Franklin Road Apparel GT category, on the road course, Ken Twaits once again atop the group with a time of 2:38.02 over Groh. Then in the speed stop, it was Golovin who edged out Groh by just 0.03 of a second. The overall went to Meyer, followed by Ken Twaits, and Mark Golovin earned the invite in that beautiful Z28.
Super excited about the invite. Didn't see it coming. A lot of big hitters here. Had a lot of help getting here as far as car and friends and the community that it is. Optimal Ultimate Street Car.
Let's move on to our Holly EFI GTL category. And once again for the Falcon Tires road course, Palmer was up top over Jacobs. Then we moved to the speed stop segment, and it was Dupree who had the upper advantage over Palmer and Walsh. And the overall, well, that would go to Dupree as well in that beautiful Corvette. But Palmer grabbed the invite.
From Pikes Peak, which was in July, till now in October, we've added a carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber roof, carbon fiber deck lid. We just went through the whole car and added as much carbon fiber to the car as possible. And then we just went and cleaned up the interior. And so we try to do a lot of things to make it just stand apart from the different cars. And because there are so many different cars here, we wanted to be just a little bit different. We didn't want to be just a normal Corvette. We wanted to be something unique.
This weekend, we'll hand out 2 Spectra Performance Spirit of the Event Awards. One going to Justin Hendrickson for loaning Ken Twaits the parts he needed for his car, and the other longtime series supporter and Recaro GTS competitor, Doug Osborne.
Got my Spirit of the Event. It's been a fun year. Today, here at Road America, wow, this is a fun track. It's like I said, it's a big boy track. And I'm so looking forward to going to Vegas and partying with my friends. And we've got to beat Danny Pop. Somebody's got to beat Danny Pop.
I'm excited beyond words. I did not expect to honestly get the invite. I'm super excited. I've been working for 6 years building this car. I'm crazy low budget. I save up a certain amount every year for racing, and this year I'm already twice that. So this is crazy exciting.
It's been a great season. 7 events in the book, and now the drivers head to Las Vegas to showcase all their hard work at Optima's Ultimate Street Car Invitational. Check out DriveOptima.com for more info on the series, and we'll see you in Las Vegas.
The curtain raised for the 2018 ARCA Championships 8 weeks ago at America's birthplace of speed, Daytona Beach, Florida. A full field of 39 cars took the green flag for the Lucas Oil 200. Chaos was the theme of the day, and this scary incident involving number 23, Brett Holmes, eventually brought out a red flag. After a long delay, the race resumed, and in the end, the green and white number 15 Sinclair Lubricants Toyota of 28-year-old Michael Self took the checkered flag and etched his name in the Daytona record books. Today, we move from the 200-mile-an-hour super speedway to the challenge of close quarters fender banging action short track style. It's time for ARCA short track action from the Volunteer State. The Nashville Music City 200 is coming up next, right here on MAV TV.
Skyline of Nashville, Tennessee. And tonight, we are just miles from downtown for the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards with the Music City 200 at the Fairgrounds Speedway, Nashville. We are enjoying being here on MAV TV, and we'll have 12 races this year on our network. But tonight, we are in the heart of Tennessee at the famous, legendary Nashville Fairgrounds. This racetrack, very important, and this city, important, known as the Music City. In fact, it was founded, and I love this little nugget, back in 1779 on Christmas Eve. But this track, a pure bull ring, built with both speed and purpose. Back in 1904, a mile and a quarter dirt oval, and then it was changed to its size that we see right now, a half-mile paperclip with 18 degrees of banking. Tonight's race, 200 laps. That's a long time. Last year's winner, Chad Finley, and 28 cars were entered for tonight's race. Hello, everybody. I am Bob Diller. Alongside of me is Jim Trado. We're proud to be here on MAV TV for the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards, and tonight's field, star-studded.
And you know what? We have the veterans of the ARCA Racing Series teaching the youngsters lap by lap. There's such a great turnout of young drivers here again tonight at Nashville.
It's going to be an exciting time for sure, and we want to take a look at some of those young guns that put on a show both this coming year and also last year, because it was very exciting in the battle for the Scott's Rookie Challenge. We had the race right to the very end at Kansas Speedway in October between two gentlemen, Gus Dean and Riley Herbst.
They spent a lot of time last year racing one another, and this wild restart is typical of how they raced with each other hard. The 32 of Gus Dean on the outside watches. He gets wide in that intense moment of trying to outlast Herbst for the rookie title in the final race. Gets in the wall. That changed his strategy dramatically.
Heartbreaker for Gus Dean. He won an ARCA race a couple years ago at Talladega with a thumbs up by Riley Herbst as he was crowned the Scott's Rookie of the Year. This year, though, we got a great class, but here are the standings from 1 year ago. Herbst over Dean. Brett Holmes narrowly missed the top spot.
12 top 10 finishes for Brett Holmes, just not enough for the strength of those two guys that were ahead of him.
And speaking of this year's Scott's Rookie Challenge, Brandon Grasso, 18 years old, Zane Smith, Natalie Decker, 20 years old out of Wisconsin, Travis Braden, and Chase Purdy, 18 years old as well.
And these are just some of the great young drivers we'll see tonight here at Nashville.
One of them, Zane Smith, had a great qualifying effort earlier today. The third member of our broadcast team, Mike Wallace, talked to him.
We're here on pit road with a great qualifying effort, a third place from Zane Smith. Zane, man, good job, first of all. What do you think about this old wore-out, cold Nashville Fairgrounds?
It's a ton of fun. Place is one of a kind. Yeah, I'm super pumped for tonight. Qualified top 3, and we have a really good long run car, so looking forward to it.
So, you know, a lot of things change from week to week, and you haven't been in an ARCA car for about 2 months. The last time you rode was at Daytona International Speedway. Tell me the difference from there to here.
Yeah, that's night and day right there. This definitely goes into the driver's hands, and I'm a pretty big fan of that right there. So I'm definitely really pumped to get things started, and Daytona is a lot warmer than it is today.
Yeah, there you go. You heard it from a cold Nashville Fairgrounds. Zane Smith rolling off in third place, second row on the inside, and it's cold down here.
Cold indeed. When we woke up this morning, temperatures in the 20-degree range. It rose to about 40 degrees today, but it's been awfully cold. We'll have the Music City 200 at Fairgrounds Speedway Nashville, and we'll set the field when we return with a rookie on the pole.
Everybody has a flashlight, but can your flashlight do this? Or how about this? The Bell & Howell Tactical Flashlight can. Similar to flashlights used by elite military units, the Bell & Howell Tac Light can do things no ordinary flashlight can do. It's so bright, it can be seen up to 2 nautical miles away. And if that something that goes bump in the night turns out to be someone, only a tac light has a super bright strobe that can stun and disorient would-be attackers. A car battery will stop working in sub-zero temperatures, but even getting frozen in a block of ice couldn't make our tac light stop working. And it'll keep working when fully submerged in water, even 212-degree boiling water. It's tough enough to survive getting run over by a Humvee. Try that with a regular flashlight. Compact and lightweight, it goes where you go, so you can feel safe in dark places at night, or just have the right light for emergency situations. And there's never been a better choice for camping, fishing, or hunting. What else? 5 preset modes. It's made of high-grade aircraft aluminum. The bulb lasts 100,000 hours. I mean, there's just nothing like it on the market today. But this offer won't last long, so here's how to get yours.
Tactical flashlights of this quality are selling right now for $60 or more, but Bell & Howell has slashed their price to just $19.99, and they'll even ship it to you free. Plus, every tac light comes with a lifetime guarantee. And that's not all. Order today and you can get a second tac light. Just pay a separate fee. You can get 2 Bell & Howell tac lights backed by a lifetime guarantee for the amazing price of just $19.99 and get free shipping. Here's how to order.
To get your tac light for only $19.99 and get a second one free, call 1-800-970-3362 or go to trytaclight.com. This offer is not available in stores. Call 1-800-970-3362, 1-800-970-3362, or order online at trytaclight.com.
Looking for a way to boost your sales without breaking the bank? Look no further. MAV TV is your one-stop shop. From commercial production to airtime, we'll custom tailor a package to fit any budget. Our viewers are loyal. They support businesses that support their favorite channel. Email advertising at mavtv.com to learn more. MAV TV, high-octane advertising at a price you can afford.
Animal rights extremists and other allied organizations beg for your money under the false pretense of animal welfare. In reality, your donations to these radical organizations do not help local animal shelters. Your money is actually being used to disrupt animal agriculture, along with hunting, fishing, and even pet ownership. To help the real cause, donate directly to local animal shelters. To learn more, go to protecttheharvest.com.
The ARCA Racing Series, presented by Menards, is brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards. Hers, forever good. And by Lucas Oil. Made in America, sold to the world.
It's just the second race of the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards of 2018, the Music City 200 at Fairgrounds Speedway, Nashville. But this one is going to be a dandy. Anytime you can come to a short track, especially one like the Fairgrounds Speedway in Nashville, it's going to be awfully exciting. In fact, this is a legendary speedway with so much history. Want to make sure you join in on the conversation. Facebook, Twitter, hashtags. Use hashtag MavTV and hashtag Motorsports Network to join in on the conversation because we love talking to people, especially on Twitter.
And it's great to know the drivers in between qualifying and everything get out of practice. We are interacting with them as well. So it's a great way for you to get involved in tonight's broadcast on MavTV.
Look at this starting lineup here, and we see a mix of veterans and honestly a mix of experience here with a big heavy stock car that is what we see on the ARCA Racing Series.
And the ARCA Racing Series really has been the proving ground not only for drivers but these teams. They're stepping up. They're getting guys that have Cup and Truck and Xfinity experience now in the pits, not just changing tires, but on the pit boxes. And there are team members here tonight that you saw winning NASCAR Cup races just a few years ago. So that depth also plays for these young drivers to learn very quickly how to get around here.
And this place, very hard on tires. It's an old, worn-out surface. It was last repaved, we just found out today, in 1995. So that strategy is going to be awfully interesting to keep an eye on.
Motorsports. Representing Shoney's Restaurants, Miss Terry Harrow.
Start your engines here.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines!
700 horsepower comes to life. 26 cars will be in the starting field here tonight because we had a couple of mishaps earlier today, both in practice and qualifying. But there you look at this starting field. We got to talk a little bit about the Sioux Chiefs Short Track Challenge because this is the first of 11 races this year that make up this special championship.
Just the short tracks count towards that championship, Bob. What it does, it allows these drivers as young as age 15 to get a chance to race for a championship within. And only race points count. It comes down to the wire. It seems like every year, age 15 and up, that matters to these young drivers getting their chance to race in these heavy cars with live pit stops.
And the key is tracks a mile in length or less. Let's take a look at how everything shook down in terms of the Sioux Chiefs Short Track Challenge in 2017 because there was a lot of exciting action on all the bull rings around America with the ARCA Racing Series. And it all began right here in Nashville, Tennessee 1 year ago. A big surprise with Chad Finley taking the checkered flag.
Improbable win for him, but he shows strength on the short tracks, and he proved it at Nashville with a different pit strategy than everybody else.
And then Dalton Sargent surprised them all. A lap down at one point in the race, he won in Salem, Indiana.
And look at this, Harrison Burton, just his second ARCA start, tames him at Toledo, the home track for the ARCA Racing Series.
Harrison Burton is in the starting field here tonight, but look at this finish. Christian Eckes on the inside, Austin Theriault on the outside. A photo finish at Theriault won in Elko, Minnesota.
And he backed it up at Madison. This is when his season really clicked in. That half mile in Madison, Wisconsin. We're going back there. Theriault was the man to beat that night.
Theriault was on a tear, but not at Lucas Oil Raceway. Dalton Sargent going back to victory lane. This team very good on the short tracks last year.
And Kyle Benjamin, we talk about taming. He had the giant figured out. Winchester Speedway in that 28 car for MDM. Benjamin went to victory lane.
The big high banks, and of course we have two dirt track events on the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. Grant Enfinger won the first one at Springfield.
And you know what? He'd never seen a dirt track before, but Theriault, in just his second dirt track start, went to victory lane again at DuQuoin.
He was nearly unstoppable. He went back to the high banks of Salem and won there. 7 total victories en route to a championship for Austin Theriault and Ken Schrader Racing 1 year ago.
Love that Jack Boucher throwback paint job, too. What a great season Theriault had. Sargent was right there with him step for step. Gusty and Christian Eckes, Shane Lee, those teams battled it out every lap in the short tracks last year.
Yes, it was a very good battle. We go on board and take a look. Here's the starting lineup for tonight's 200-lap main event. The teenager, just 15 years old, Chandler Smith, making his first ARCA start on the front row with Tyler Dipple in the 22.
Second row is Zane Smith. He is a very fast driver. Ryan Repko ran his first ARCA race last year, top 10 for Mason Mitchell. He'll start fourth.
Some big-time talent in this field, and a lot of young guns, including Brett Holmes and Chase Purdy, part of the MDM stables. A lot of people expect good things out of the rookie Chase Purdy this year.
The oldest driver in the top 4 rows, Gustine. He's the first driver not age 20 or younger that we see on a grid in the 32 Green Chevrolet.
You can tell he's got the facial hair, but Gustine's always strong. Michael Self going for 3 straight ARCA wins for Venturini Motorsports. And then there's the lady, Natalie Decker, starting 12th here tonight.
She won the pole and finished 5th at Daytona. A lot of expectation for her full season in ARCA.
Some big-time surprises a little bit later on in the field. Riley Herbst and Harrison Burton having to take provisionals. But the big question is, a 200-lap race, a lot of strategy involved. How far can you start and still win here tonight?
You know, it's going to be a very good question we'll answer shortly, because a couple of drivers are deep in the field. We're not able to qualify. But as you see this stout field, it's one of the strongest fields that ARCA has brought to a short track in quite some time. And it's great to see the mix of young drivers in these teams. But, man, we got like Will Kimmel starting in the back. He's got a shot. There's young drivers, Harrison Burton and Riley Herbst, starting well back below 20.
And I think if we talk a little bit about the strategy, and we've been talking about that throughout yesterday and today, if we look at the last 2 years, there's some interesting strategy that have propelled guys to victory lane.
You know, this is a very solid point to make, Bob. 3 different pit stops for our race winner a year ago. Different strategy for Chad Finley. Chassis adjustment only the first time down, 2 tires, and he took 4 tires with 46 laps left in the race and beat them all in what was a very improbable run. Josh Williams in 2016 came on lap 84 of 200, only pitted once. The top 3 guys followed him across the finish line. That was a huge win for Josh.
So what's going to happen tonight? For that, let's go down to pit road and Mike Wallace. Mike, what do you think?
Well, guys, it's confusing on pit road. I've talked to numerous crew chiefs today. They don't know if they should go with 4 first or 2 second, whatever. They've seen this get tossed up for the last couple of years. But we do know it's going to be a challenger race. There's young guys sitting on the front 2 rows. They're going to set a torrid pace, so the tire wear is going to be immense. But it's going to be a great race on top of it.
Well, pit windows are very important tonight, and these teams have 6 tires in the pit area. They'll take normally 4 on one stop, 2 on another. But earlier today, a big surprise to a lot of different people. Chandler Smith, we mentioned him, 15 years old. He's been running late model since he was 12. He won the General Tire Pole Award here in his first attempt at the ARCA Racing Series.
He went out very late in the session. The question mark was, can these young drivers handle these brand new General tires in qualifying? Because they all qualified on sticker tires.
He doesn't look like he's old enough to honestly run these, but he is a very talented shoe. One more time around, and we will go green racing here for the ARCA Racing Series, the first time this year on MAV TV, and we are very proud, actually, to be able to bring you 12 events this year on our network. There is the 20 car, Chandler Smith. You have the choose rule. He chooses the outside to start this race.
And Tyler Dipple on his inside has more ARCA racing experience, but Smith, you talk about a kid in that 20 car that has raced in some big races and long races. This is his first chance in the ARCA Racing Series this year.
Riley Herbst with a provisional had to change engines earlier today after he missed a shift, and they took that precaution, changed the engine in the NOS Energy Drink number 18. Here we go. The moment we've been waiting for since they threw the checkered flag at Daytona for the first race of the year. We are going green flag racing on MAV TV with the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. Out of the Chad Bryant stables for Tyler Dipple.
We talk about these young teams and having multiple cars. Well, a lot of the teams took the opportunity to test here as recently as this past Monday. Some teams were here last Friday. Those teams all said Venturini's got something here. Christian Eckes was the driver that's name that came up a lot, as did our pole sitter Chandler Smith.
The 55 for Michael Self in that Sinclair machine has not had a perfect day. He won 2 straight ARCA Racing Series events to close the year in 2017 and to open the season at Daytona. He's hoping for the hat trick here today, but he has not been stout.
No, he and his crew crew chief Frank Kimmel, the 10-time winning driver in the ARCA Racing Series, got their heads together. They changed the right front shock after practice. It paid off. They had a better qualifying run. One of their better laps actually came in qualifying after a full run of practice.
See, Zane Smith has moved ahead of the 22 of Tyler Hill on the racetrack. Zane Smith, 3 times last year, a runner-up finisher in the ARCA Racing Series. And honestly, you talk to him about it, that sticks in his head. It's bothered him a little bit. He's been good enough to win.
And late in the season, Zane made the switch to MDM. He never qualified worse than third in any of those races. He started third tonight, and that win is a daunting figure. It's a shadow that's now sitting above his shoulder. Soon to turn into that monkey if he doesn't win soon.
Speaking of good, the number 28 of Sheldon Creed out of the MDM stables looks pretty sporty as well. He tested here 1 week ago, thought he has a very good car over the long haul. He ran several events last year, had a lot of success. A lot of people believe that Sheldon Creed, the former Pro Lake champion in the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series, is going to be a championship challenger this year.
Yeah, that white and black 28 car, Sheldon Creed, had a lot of speed here in his ARCA debut 2 years ago. 2 top 10 runs and 2 starts here at Nashville.
The 23 of Brett Holmes, watching him in practice, this car has been cutting very good in the center of the corner. And a crew chief change this week for Brett Holmes. Buddy Cisco on top of the box here. Buddy Cisco worked for Brett Keselowski Racing last year.
And GMS Racing is where he works now. And this GMS Racing umbrella, you will, has encompassed the 23 that Grant Enfinger won the championship with as a GMS Racing driver. That number stays on the door. That machine is at their shop in Mooresville. So that 5-truck team at GMS Racing is what is helping this team propel with Brett Holmes, again, his second full season in the ARCA Racing Series. And looking on hand, not only his crew chief, but an employee there, but Mike Beam came over. Mike Beam is overseeing all the competition at GMS.
Being told a black flag is being thrown on the 78 for Ryan Repko. His window net has come down. We are being given information right now. So the black flag has been thrown, and there you see it right there for Ryan Repko, one of the young guns this year, at least for this race, driving for Mason Mitchell Motorsports.
And this has been the best track for Mason Mitchell Motorsports. They've led more laps than any other active team in ARCA here at the fairgrounds in Nashville. This young man had a fast car, started 4th here tonight, has to come to pit road to address that window net.
Yeah, had a bad break right here. A lot of people expected him, especially after that good qualifying run, to challenge for the win here tonight. This is a big disappointment, but he's got to get back out there and get those laps like Chandler Smith is doing here tonight.
So the rabbit and the hare theory. Okay, Chandler Smith is now laying down some blistering laps. 19.679 his best lap. He's already back to a 20.09. But those laps and that ability to catch traffic and put more cars a lap down may make others force the issue and wear their tires more than they wanted to early on.
And this will change the strategy of the race. Talking to a lot of the crew chiefs here today, they say it depends on the pace that is set when those pit windows are. We expect people to come down pit road if we get a caution around lap 65 to a lap 80 or so. That is really the nucleus of where we believe the first stops will happen. But it could change, and it could change the entire strategy whether we take 2 or 4 as well.
And as we see all these young guys up front, if they start drifting back, if they watch last year's race, they would know, guess what? Chad Finley's car was almost a lap down when the first caution flew. He came down to make an adjustment. It ended up being the right one because he saved his tires for later in the race.
What I'm seeing out of Tyler Dipple in the 22, he started on the front row. He is fading out of position back to 3rd. He was a little bit surprised with that qualifying effort that he actually did earlier today. But at the same time, I'm seeing some of the same characteristics that he told me earlier in the day. That car has been very tight. It hasn't wanted to turn in the center of the corner.
Qualified 7th, and Sheldon Creed is not done passing cars wherever he can in that United Rentals number 28 Toyota for MDM Racing. Lauren Ranier, his spotter. You want to talk about lineage and history. His father, Harry Ranier, started that team that Davey Allison had so much success with. A former Bill France 4-crown winner in the ARCA Racing Series. Davey, a 3-time winner in ARCA. Coming back to his roots, if you will, for Lauren Ranier and getting Sheldon Creed up to speed as the spotter and working with this young driver at every opportunity.
And Lauren Ranier is a smart guy. He's a good scout for talent, up-and-coming talent through all different varieties of racing in America. And he really put his eye on Sheldon Creed and is trying to manage him. And he's doing a good job so far. Sheldon Creed trying to get acclimated to the short track again here tonight. And he told me earlier in the day he actually had trouble because he ran so many speedway races at the end of last year that he had to get used to a short track again. Speaking of being used to a short track, Christian Eckes in the 15 for the JBL team. He's looking good, very fast at the test 1 week ago.
Got a little brake heat going on there for Christian, so the car's not perfect, but he has been the driver that I heard more about this today than I heard about any other driver. So I asked him right before he qualified, I said, man, your name has been brought up a ton. He said, you know, we've had speed in the test. Everybody saw how much we could do there. Today, they went through their list. They're very confident with his team being led by Kevin Reed.
And a little bit of a mistake in qualifying, but we have 200 laps in this race, and everybody knows, you know, if you have a good race car, you can survive to the end and then go on the attack. Michael Self in the 55, he hasn't had that car. But right before driver intros happen here, I got a chance to talk to Michael Self, and he said, you know what, I think we're going to be okay in the long haul. We just need to survive to the end. Riley Herbst, though, having to go to the back of the field, taking the provisional after that engine change earlier today. The biggest mover so far, up 14 spots already. He's running 9th.
And Harrison Burton started back outside the top 20 as well. He's made up 12 spots already. Harrison Burton tested here on Monday, had a hard crash, didn't get a lot of laps here, but he said, I ran here a lot in the Pro Late model, and I also had a lot of chances to talk to my teammates about how to get around here, because they tested 4 days prior than Harrison here with his crew chief, Shane Huffman.
Just hang out right here.
Justine right in front of Riley Herbst. Remember, these two challenged last year for the Scott's Rookie of the Year honors, the 32 of Justine and the 18 of Riley Herbst, and now they're neck and neck around this half-mile speed limit.
It's amazing the pace that Riley Herbst has right now, because as we ride along with him in the Orca coolers on board, Orca, by the way, based right here in Nashville, they got a good look at what the team was doing. This team has been moving forward. They got a bunch of people here, man. They're getting excited. They're on their feet here in Nashville.
The JBL camera for Christian Eckes climbing through the field here today in Nashville, Tennessee.
For more than half a century, Sioux Chief has been the name to know for quality American-made rough plumbing products. It's the choice of contractors with stylish and innovative shower drains, bracketing systems, and a full line of supply fittings. Sioux Chief expansion grip systems provide solid connections. Protect your ice maker, dishwasher, toilet, or washing machine from harmful water hammer by installing a Sioux Chief mini rester that's guaranteed for the lifetime of your home's plumbing. Sioux Chief is your plumbing solution. Available at your nearest Menards.
Save big money at Menards. You can't fake greatness. Not on the track, and not in the chip aisle. Like a seasoned driver behind the wheel, Hers chips take you from caution flag levels of hunger to checkered flag feelings of satisfaction. When it comes to race day snacks, the signature crunch and endless flavors of Hers leaves the competition in a pile of chip dust. Don't settle for anything less than the champions of the chip aisle. Hers, forever good. Available at Menards.
Give us the work no one else wants to do. We don't just go against the grain, we grow it. Give us the frontiers, the places where success is measured and pushed limits. Give us the middle of nowhere, where the only map is your buddy's tread marks. This life, no one's born ready for it.
Don't put a new part in a bad neighborhood. Go to rockauto.com for complete kits that include all the parts and hardware to do the job right at the right price. With one click, get custom matched power stop pads, calipers, and rotors all in one affordable brake kit. Also buy suspension kits, tune-up kits, AC kits, exhaust kits, and more. rockauto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto.
Racing Series presented by Menards, the Music City 200 at the Fairgrounds Speedway in Nashville. And we're seeing a heck of a race early in the going here. Just 30 laps complete of the 200. Chandler Smith, 15 years old, out of Georgia, leading the field. Won the pole tonight, and he's leading early in the going in his first ARCA Racing Series event.
And as quick as he's going now, I'm sure the teams are saying, man, if we got to throw tires at it early, we probably should, because this Smith kid is putting it on us right now. We see Gus Dean made a very daring pass as we were away, getting that position.
Contact between Dean and Eckes. The 32 Gree car gets into the left rear quarter of Eckes. He moves up the racetrack. Eckes showing some patience there. The battle on the racetrack is for 6th, and Gus Dean gets the spot.
Gus used the inside a moment ago to get a spot, and now he's up into that 6th position. Move now to the backside of Christian Eckes and the number 15 JBL.com Toyota ahead of him. The yellow stickers on the rear bumper meaning he's a Scott Rookie Challenge eligible driver.
On board, with Riley Herbst just behind Christian Eckes. Herbst has been on the move. Remember, that engine change earlier today had a mishap, a missed shift for Riley. They changed the engine, took a provisional starting spot, started way back in the field. Now Riley Herbst up to the 8th spot in the 18. And Herbst is a guy that we expect to challenge for the championship this year. A crew chief change for this team from 1 year ago as well. Booty Barker comes over from crew chiefing in the NASCAR Cup Series to crew chiefing for Riley here at Joe Gibbs Racing.
And Booty has been really regimented. As I talked to Riley, the biggest difference, we were spending time with him on pit road, he said, biggest difference is Booty comes in with a mentality that this is how I'm going to approach it. I've had years of experience doing every possible scenario for 38 weekends. This is what we need to do every chance we get for these 20 weekends in the ARCA Racing Series.
And he said that organization is key. He's very firm with his actions, is Booty Barker. We've seen him for so long in the NASCAR ranks. And Booty did tell me today he's learning a little bit here in the ARCA Racing Series, coming to Nashville here for the first time in a long time, trying to figure out what this car needs, what Riley needs. So they're building chemistry as well.
That team really stayed intact. Shannon Rush is still very much part of this ARCA team with 10 employees in the shop. Booty now making the calls on race days too.
Here's what's really interesting. The 22 there of Tyler Dipple. He currently runs in the 4th spot. Michael Self now up to 5th. But I watched Dipple on how he attacks that second turn, and that's a very critical part of this racetrack. There is a big bump that has formed in there, and we can see as they go into turn number 2 here, there's a bump there, and the car kind of bottoms out. And depending on how you tackle that bump with the car, it can really offset things for you.
And for Dipple in that 22 car, teammate to the 77 with Joe Groff, they're vastly different in their experience. Dipple comes from a big block dirt car modified. Joe has been more of the pavement, short track, pro late model, super late model kind of driver. So difference in their setups for the team cars, the 22 and now the 77 of Groff.
And here's what's really interesting for Joe Graff Jr. He comes in here, unfortunately, with a broken foot. We saw him with basically a crutch of sorts with wheels, and he had his foot off the ground. I said, what happened? He says, you know what? I was playing ball with my 12-year-old brother. I didn't want him to beat me, and there was a little mishap when he was trying to dunk the ball on his 12-year-old brother, and he broke the foot. So he's driving with a broken foot here tonight.
You know, and his dad was nice enough to tell us, my wife reminded me, my son's played football and lacrosse in high school, and he's been racing for so many years, but he gets injured playing basketball. He got injured on the other ankle, and he's playing in middle school basketball.
Brandon Grasso in the 52. That's the championship-winning car from 1 year ago for Austin Terrio. Donnie Richardson leading that team. He's actually spotting for Brandon here. But the interesting thing is, this is the Ken Schrader racing team, and they came here testing 1 week ago. And Ken Schrader took Brandon around the racetrack to show him the intricacies of Nashville. Now, it's been a while since Ken Schrader has raced here. The ARCA Racing Series only returned a couple of years ago to this legendary racetrack. But at the same time, Brandon Grasso in that 52, he told him, watch out for that bump in turn number 2. And guess what happened to him in the test?
Lap 1, turn 2, whoop,
yep,
went around.
Spun it around. Here comes Natalie Decker for Venturini Motorsports in the N29, number 25, to the inside of that 77 car of Joe Graff Jr.
You know, much to do about Natalie, the headline she created for the ARCA Racing Series at Daytona, the first points race during Speed Weeks, winning the pole, knocking the fender off, and coming back to a 5th place finish. She's now in the red number 25 N29 Capital Partners Toyota. This would be the test, she said. This is a hard track to figure out, so we'll see how she can progress for the entire season here on the first short track of the run.
Still got a long way to go for Natalie Decker and so many others to climb back through the field. We are approaching 50 laps here at the legendary Fairground Speedway in Nashville for the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards.
We believe in cleaner air for our families and yours. That's why we created DuPont Air Filtration. We use science and technology to remove impurities and airborne allergens, protecting not just you, but also your heating and air conditioning system so that you can breathe easy, knowing that you're taking the best possible care of your family. Enjoy cleaner air with our great selection of air filters in our plumbing department today. DuPont Air Filtration, available at Menards. It's DIY project season. Painting and prep, caulking and heavy-duty cleaning, landscaping. You've got this. DIY like the pros and trade up to Scott Rags. These all-purpose towels are strong, absorbent, and perform like cloths. Keep the kitchen paper towels in the kitchen where they belong. So whether you're a DIYer at home or a pro at the work site, give your project your best, Scott. Trade up to Scott Rags. Available at Menards.
Race fans know it takes raw power to get results, whether it's on the track or at the job site. Masterforce tools have the power and performance to get the job done right. The 20-volt Flex Power interchangeable battery system powers a complete collection of professional-grade tools, start to finish. Tools that you can rely on for the long haul. Take your projects across the finish line with Masterforce. Available only at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
For more than half a century, Sioux Chief has been the name to know for quality American-made rough plumbing products. It's the choice of contractors with stylish and innovative shower drains, bracketing systems, and a full line of supply fittings. Sioux Chief expansion grip systems provide solid connections. Protect your ice maker, dishwasher, toilet, or washing machine from harmful water hammer by installing a Sioux Chief mini rester that's guaranteed for the lifetime of your home's plumbing. Sioux Chief is your plumbing solution. Available at your nearest Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
With Car Gurus, you don't have to know much about cars to know everything about a car.
Mom, whose car's up front?
That's mine.
Uncle Mike. That car's lit. Way lit. Lit's good.
I didn't know my car was lit, but I used Car Gurus, so I know that I got a great deal. Car Gurus gives each used car a deal rating, always sorts the best deals first, and has more listings than any other major site. Want to ride?
Lit.
Go to Car Gurus today to find great deals from top-rated dealers near you.
Under caution for the first time in the Music City 200 for the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards at Fairgrounds Speedway, Nashville. Travis Braden brought out the caution, a left rear flat tire on the number 27, one of the Scott's Rookie Challenge drivers for 2018. And there you see that tire has gone down on the 27 car. Let's take a look at exactly what happened right in front of the leader, Chandler Smith.
77 McGrath there, but that's the race leader, the 20 of Chandler Smith. They're on the gas pedal. It's matted to the floor off of turn number 4. Braden to the inside. Everybody got through this. One more look. That's how close it was for the leaders, Smith and Smith, to get through there.
Wow, that was a close call right there for both, like you said, Chandler Smith and Zane Smith, two teenagers, with Travis Braden spinning that 27 car with that left rear cut tire. So Travis Braden, not exactly the start that he wanted, was running really good at Daytona and got caught up in a late race mishap. So two difficult races to start the season for the former ARCA Series Super Series champion.
Yeah, two-time champion there. He's also won the Winchester 400, finished second in that race. He knows about the duration and the grind, especially when it comes to older racetrack surfaces and how to manage the tires. So something happened to that general tire in the left rear to put them down. They'll fuel their car and put right sides on. We'll see if they change 4. Again, they only have 6 in the pits, so it's a matter of tire strategy. They've got to do 4 with a flat left rear, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely. They'll do 4 tires here for Travis Braden, and we expect him to be a contender for several wins this year. This team is good. He ran really well at Winchester last year, as you mentioned, a track that he's won at before. He has won an ARCA Racing Series event a couple of years ago at Lucas Oil Raceway in Indiana. So good talent behind the wheel there, and a great break for one of those underfunded guys. But here we go. We got cars on pit road. Zane Smith in the number 41, second place on the racetrack, comes down pit road, and it looks like it'll be a 2-tire stop for Zane Smith.
The number 41 of Zane Smith is on the bottom. Now we see the race leader leaving his pit stall already. Pit road starts in the apex of 3 and 4 and comes all the way down the front straightaway. Good job by those guys to get him in cleanly, and Zane beats him out.
Beat him out. Definitely a good pit stop by that MDM team, the Venturini Motorsports team of Chandler Smith. I believe it was also a 2-tire stop for Chandler Smith. So the Smiths still leading the field, but they swapped roles after this cautioning coming down pit road.
Joe Groff in his first live pit stop under caution in the ARCA Racing Series. They're trying to get that car refired. Again, that young man out of New York, a 6-race schedule for Chad Bryant Racing for him, and again, getting that car refired. It's a whole different ball game in the element. You ran 50 laps at maximum speed. You're in that rhythm. Now you've got to come down to pit road at 30 miles an hour, hit your box, Make sure that car's in gear and you got it revved up just right to leave pit road.
And Joe's also doing some late model racing as well. But folks, under caution here at Nashville, this racetrack, look at the gritty surface. It eats up tires. We saw the first pit stop sequence by basically all of these guys. It came 54 laps into the Music City 200 here at Nashville. Right now, Zane Smith leading Chandler Smith and Sheldon Creed here at Nashville.
You can't fake greatness. Not on the track and not in the chip aisle. Like a seasoned driver behind the wheel, Hearst chips take you from caution flag levels of hunger to checkered flag feelings of satisfaction. When it comes to race day snacks, the signature crunch and endless flavors of Hearst leaves the competition in a pile of chip dust. Don't settle for anything less than the champions of the chip aisle. Hearst, forever good. Available at Menards. We believe in cleaner air for our families and yours. That's why we created DuPont Air Filtration. We use science and technology to remove impurities and airborne allergens, protecting not just you, but also your heating and air conditioning system so that you can breathe easy, knowing that you're taking the best possible care of your family. Enjoy cleaner air with our great selection of air filters in our plumbing department today. DuPont Air Filtration, available at Menards.
Carl Renazenter's running a flawless race here today.
You got to be able to finish strong.
74 is done for the day. That's gonna hurt.
Now they're side by side in the whoop section.
Raleigh. And the white flag is out. This is the final lap.
Come on.
Give us the work no one else wants to do. We don't just go against the grain, we grow it. Give us the frontiers, the places where success is measured and pushed limits. Give us the middle of nowhere, where the only map is your buddy's tread marks. This life, no one's born ready for it.
I'm Bob Diller alongside of me, Jim Trado, Mike Wallace down in the pits. It's the Music City 200 here for the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. Zane Smith, after a pit stop sequence, passes Chandler Smith on pit road. So right now we're getting ready to go green flag racing once again. The free pass car, Natalie Decker in the 25.
And the 78 who had the window net down, Ryan Repko gets the wave around, so he's going to actually get the chance to start at the very back of the field and get that lap back. We see the 23, Brett Holmes, also dipping to pit road here late, so we'll see if that's a...
Let's go down to Mike Wallace.
The 18 car, just talked to Booty Barker, the crew chief. They're making a strong run through the field right now, up to 4th place, but they made a track bar adjustment to the car and got some tape off the brake ducts. He's getting real aggressive on those brakes. They want to get them cooled down, but he's got a charge to the front.
And the 23, Brett Holmes, we mentioned a great qualifying run for him. He came down pit road again. All the team did was bend down and tighten the lugs on the left front of the number 23 for Holmes. Had a slower stop. Good move on their part.
Good move, but now he's mired back in the field, and he'll have to march to the front. All right, here we go. Double file restart. Zane Smith chooses the inside. Going into the first turn here with Chandler Smith alongside. And here comes Sheldon Creed trying to move up into the second spot with the 28.
And you know how the strategy works for the leader? I want to take the inside or outside. Who's going to start behind me? He knows that his teammate at MDM, the 28 and the 41 are teammates. He knows how strong Sheldon's car is. That could be another reason why Zane said, I want the bottom to hold off my teammate at the 28.
Listen, new tires makes you feel like a hero. And sometimes it's a great opportunity for people to pick off some spots, and that's exactly what Sheldon Creed did there on that green flag restart. So right now, looking at Zane Smith, the 41 car in front of him, and trying to dissect what Zane is doing on the racetrack so he could possibly catch him and pass him by.
And a lot of teams in the test, in the long runs, was the mindset, how many laps can we go on these tires? How many tires can we use? Now we got 2 fresh ones and 2 used ones on these guys. That's a different feel altogether, so great restart by Smith to get control of this race.
And in some ways, the earlier side of the pit window that we expected here tonight with everybody coming down pit road. Chandler Smith now looking to the inside of the number 28 machine of Sheldon Creed. Chandler Smith showing great car control right there. Those two got into it a little bit in the corner.
The groove goes higher as they go into turn 1, and that's what Smith took as the line, but Smith in the 20, I should say. Chandler Smith saw the inside open, and Creed has to give it to him.
Justine having a whale of a run as well in the number 32 car. He's up to 4th right now, so keep your eye on the 32. He won at Talladega a couple of years ago. He drives for Kevin Swinski and Wintron Motorsports, but he would like to get back to victory lane. He had a goose egg in the win column 1 year ago.
And it helps to have 100 Gree and Baker Distributing folks here tonight cheering him on. They have a huge hospitality area for Gus and his team, and those sponsors are here to watch him run. He knows he wants to win in front of that big crowd.
Keeping my eye on the 41 and the 28 at the head of this field. Right now, Sheldon Creed just stalking the 41 of Zane Smith and looking for any possible mistake by Zane Smith. Zane, though, so hungry for a win. The kid has so much talent. He's a good-looking kid. We call him the California kid because he's got the looks, he's got the driving prowess. Back in 2015, he won 5 big super late model races around America, down at New Smyrna Speedway, a few on the Pro All-Star Series, as well as the Cars Tour. And then the year after, went winless. Last year, winless as well. He's itching to get a victory, and he's got the talent to do it.
And the experience of just 1 year. These two drivers we're seeing on our screen, the 41 of Zane Smith, the 28 of Sheldon Creed, both said, I'm so glad I got to race here in an ARCA Racing Series car. I am more prepared for a full season than ever. Smith ran 10th last year for the Venturini Motorsports bunch. Creed, again, 2 top 10 runs in the 2 runs he's had here, but he said last year, you're still figuring it out. This year, he had to figure out how to get center off, is what he kept saying about his race notes from a year ago. Doing a great job thus far in second.
Experience is key, and speaking of some experience, Riley Herbst also ran the race here last year. He told us he could do better than 1 year ago, but he's fading right now just a tad, down to the 14th spot.
He was up to 7th before the caution that everybody pitted with, so perhaps it's a chassis adjustment. We hope that's all it is because he is off the pace. He's now 10 seconds off the pace of our leaders.
By the way, the car behind him is Thad Moffitt in the number 46, the grandson of the king, Richard Petty.
Thad made his ARCA Racing Series debut here 1 year ago, hoping to do a couple more races. Maybe he's going to hit 6 or 7 in for Empire Racing in the number 46 machine we saw just a moment ago.
Herbst with a win last year, 1 win to his credit in the Rookie of the Year award season for him. It came at Pocono, and he's a guy that is very hungry as well. And second place is the first loser in the mind of Riley Herbst. He knows he has to run for a championship, but he's got his eye on that checkered flag each and every race.
And he's in the shop every day. He's on this simulator. They have a simulator in the Gibbs Racing Shop that he and Ty Gibbs, who will be here a lot about, that 15-year-old son of Coy Gibbs, grandson of the coach, they do a lot of work together in developing their skills every moment they can.
And it's interesting because when we talk about Riley Herbst and then we look at the 41 leading this field of Zane Smith, and both of those guys are good buddies. West Coast kids, grew up in the off-road realm. In fact, they teamed together for the first time in a long time, honestly. They grew up racing against each other, but they teamed up to win the Barstow 250 over the winter.
Team driving in an off-road truck that they ran in the Mint 400. Mike Smith is one of the best chassis builders when it comes to off-road trucks on the planet. That's Zane's dad. Guess who he builds his truck for? Terrible Herbst, the most famous team out of Vegas ever on the off-road circuit. Always in the Baja 1000, always a contender in the desert racing. So it's great to see those two youngsters saying, we love off-road, guys, but I think we want to do this stock car thing more often.
Christian Eckes in the JBL 15, currently riding in 7th. We go on board with him on the right side of the screen, and he is right behind his teammate, the number 55 Sinclair car for Michael Self.
I love this look. It's almost like you're on the fairgrounds ride of the little dinosaur that the kids take on the ride where it dips down, dips back up here in the fairgrounds during the Tennessee State Fair. There's a lot of bumps, a lot of undulation here around this old oval.
Love that word, by the way. That's an SAT word there. But take a look at this. Michael Self has moved by Gustine. We saw Gustine approaching the top 3 just a few laps ago. Tyler Dipple now runs in that 4th spot, and now Gustine has also lost a spot to Michael Self as well. And then there's Harrison Burton. Burton starting way back in the field. Basically what happened is Shane Huffman, his crew chief, wasn't happy with the race car. They made a ton of changes prior to qualifying. Got to pre-qualifying tech too late, and therefore they took a provisional starting spot. But Harrison Burton, with that Toledo win last year on the short track in Ohio, marching through the field.
And to give you another perspective, this is a one-day show. Practice was 1 to 2:45 this afternoon. Qualifying was already at 4:15. And then we add in the CRA and the Southern Super Series and that division with those guys. They ran a 100-lap race prior to this. There's a lot of things going on, a little time to do it. When it comes to the ARCA Racing Series, where parked in the infield, all their equipment's inside, the haulers are outside.
Christian Eckes on the inside of Gus Dean right here. Dean may be giving up another spot. Eckes trying to come through the field, side-by-side racing here in the Music City for the ARCA Racing Series, presented by Menards.
DIY project season. Painting and prep, caulking and heavy-duty cleaning, landscaping. You've got this. DIY like the pros and trade up to Scott Rags. These all-purpose towels are strong, absorbent, and perform like cloths. Keep the kitchen paper towels in the kitchen where they belong. So whether you're a DIYer at home or a pro at the work site, give your project your best, Scott. Trade up to Scott Rags. Available at Menards.
Race fans know it takes raw power to get results, whether it's on the track or at the job site. Masterforce tools have the power and performance to get the job done right. The 20-volt Flex Power interchangeable battery system powers a complete collection of professional-grade tools, start to finish. Tools that you can rely on for the long haul. Take your projects across the finish line with Masterforce, available only at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Imagine a lawn vacuum powerful enough to clear the largest lawns clean as a carpet in one pass, and compact enough to hang right on the wall. Hitching a Cyclone rake to your riding mower gives you 10 times the lifting power, with many times the debris capacity of mowers alone. It makes your toughest spring cleanup easy and cuts overgrown summer lawns down to size in a fraction of the time. When autumn comes, you'll clear the heaviest leaf cover with sitting down ease. And when you're done, the Cyclone rake folds flat in a few steps without any tools for space-saving storage right on your wall. We're so confident that you'll love the Cyclone rake, we'll let you try it risk-free for a full year. Go ahead, put it to the test. If you're not thrilled, return it for a full refund. To learn more, call now for your free information kit. Call 1-800-804-6131. That's 1-800-804-6131. Or visit CycloneRake.com. Call now.
You told us where you wanted to ride. Over punishing climbs, freewheeling straightaways, rocks, dirt, mud, and sand. So we built the only ride that could handle it all. Wildcat XX has arrived. An off-road racing-inspired suspension system. 18 inches of front and rear travel. And Fox 2.5 Podium QS3 shocks with bottom-out control. It handles boldly, corners ruthlessly, and puts ride over everything.
Don't waste your time and money at the chain store. Rock Auto. They got the best auto parts. Brake parts, suspension parts, and dealer parts too. The website's so easy to use. The lowest prices and fast delivery too. All the parts your car will ever need. All the savvy folks are buying parts at RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. RockAuto.com.
Presented by Menards is brought to you by Sioux Chief, America's manufacturer of plumbing, drainage, supply, and support products. Scott family of products. Great value, great performance. And by Can-Am. We're built for this.
Back here in Nashville, Tennessee, the 52 car. Brandon Grasso running for Ken Schrader Racing. That's the car that won the championship 1 year ago. Now, Grasso running for the Scott's Rookie of the Year honors here, currently running in 12th. And they believe they have a good long-run car, but this is a big learning experience for Grasso, who ran the dirt track last year at DeCoin.
Great run for him there. Matt Weber has been helping him through the process. He was his crew chief then as a team car in the Ken Schrader stables. He also had a teammate drive at Daytona because Brandon wasn't old enough to race at Daytona. He wasn't 18. He's still not 18 yet. But Brandon, on this short track, has had a lot of help from Donnie Richardson and now Matt Weber's on the box. Donnie's in the spotter stand. They've got a lot of great group. The same group that went to the championship with Austin Terrio surrounding these young men for the remaining 19 races in this season.
Yeah, Grasso, a dirt modified driver from the Northeast on series like the Short Track Super Series. Here is Zane Smith, still out in front of this field by a comfortable margin over Chandler Smith. Sheldon Creed is third, Michael Self in fourth, and Harrison Burton up to a top 5. But this guy starting to climb back through the field as well. And the Bama Buggies, number 8 for MDM Motorsports, Chase Purdy, another one of those teenagers in tonight's race.
And Toyota Racing Development has really latched on and found this talent and brought them to the ARCA Racing Series and brought them to the MDM Motorsports team, brought them to Venturini Racing Motorsports. This number 8 team of Chase Purdy, they are committed for the year. He has Cully Barraclaw. You talk about experience in NASCAR. He's the crew chief on this car coming over to this team.
A couple of years ago, Chase Purdy at Greenville Pickens Speedway in South Carolina won 10 races in one season in the late model stock car. And last year, he went to the NASCAR Can-Am East Circuit. How about this? So close to victory, 5 times a bridesmaid. He finished second on all of those occasions.
Yeah, he's hungry for a win. If you want to define how hungry you can be, this man has been starving for the victory. Chase ran 3 races last year in the ARCA Racing Series with another team, Mason Mitchell Motorsports. Great runs at the short tracks. He also got a sniff at racing at a speedway at Kentucky.
He's getting hungry to get by Tyler Dipple. Dipple better move out of the way, otherwise he's going to get the old chrome horn on the front end of the 8 machine. But Dipple up the racetrack right now. Chase Purdy on the bottom. That is a battle for 7th.
They're not giving up either. That tells me one thing. The right side tires, the two-tire stop strategy will work. This duration's working for the 8 team of Chase Purdy. That 2-star stop back on lap 50 is working for this team as Dipple's car is going just a little bit on the handling side. That tie car, trenchless, number 22.
Dipple's another one of those Northeast guys out of the big block modified world. Has run all sorts of modified racing up there on the dirt. This kid started on the dirt in off-road racing, an old mod kart kid competitor. And now he's really turning in some great laps, hoping for his first victory in the ARCA Racing Series here tonight. Zane Smith leads the field here in Nashville, Tennessee. But Michael Self is climbing the charts, going after 3 in a row.
To some, it's just a hunk of metal. A convenience made to get you from point A to point B. But your truck is your livelihood. So go ahead, add a toolbox, some step bars, big tires, and a mean-looking bumper. And let other people drive hunks of metal. Summit Racing Equipment. Gear for hard-working trucks and the folks who love them. SummitRacing.com.
Give us the work no one else wants to do. We don't just go against the grain, we grow it. Give us the frontiers. The places where success is measured and pushed limits. Give us the middle of nowhere, where the only map is your buddy's tread marks. This life, no one's born ready for it.
If you have an early model GMC or Chevy truck, then Brothers Trucks is your #1 resource. With decades of experience, an unparalleled inventory, and a passion for the industry, Brothers Trucks is your one-stop shop for parts, advice, and build tips. For a free catalog or to place an order, call 1-800-977-2767 or visit our website, brotherstrucks.com. That's brotherstrucks.com.
Lucas Marine Oil. It's the only oil fortified with unique Lucas additives. Just like Major League Fishing, it's environmentally friendly.
Sweet. Lucas Oil means purpose-built, high-performance product. It meets all manufacturers' specifications also.
Not running Lucas Marine Oil is like fishing a tournament without a boat. Lucas Marine Oil. It's that good.
We didn't just test the new Optima Yellow Top with PureFlow technology. We tortured it. Germany's Nürburgring is 24 straight hours of legendary racing and brutal pounding. It's one thing to call yourself the ultimate power source. It's another thing to prove it. The all-new Optima Yellow Top with Pure Flow technology with up to 3 times the battery life. Unsurpassed performance built to fit today's vehicles. Optima, the ultimate power source.
Live here in Nashville, Tennessee, is the Music City 200. Michael Self in the 55, our Daytona winner to open the season back in February, currently running in the 2nd spot. But that rear bumper cover on that number 55 machine has come loose a little bit. ARCA Racing Series officials have told the teams they're keeping an eye on it, but during the next pit stop sequence, they have to make sure they repair the rear bumper cover to that machine, Jim.
And this is the point in the race where he wants to get settled in. He wants to know what his tires are like. He wants to know what this car is going to feel like on this racetrack, because a lot of drivers were expecting a long green flag, and we're right in the middle of it here. Our only caution was about lap 50. That's 56 laps ago.
So Zane Smith leads with that 55 car for Michael Self in that 2nd spot. By the way, a bunch of Sinclair people here. Michael Self was actually up here in the tower a little while ago before the race, and he was visiting with his sponsor people here at Nashville. Caution on the racetrack. Thomas Prater winds up spinning off of turn number 4, and he might have collected the wall. Thomas Prater, one of those independent competitors out of Mobile, Alabama, running 18th.
Yeah, he was a handful of laps down, Bob, and that team has a steel-bodied race car, but it also has one of the ARCA Ilmor 396 engines in it, so it's a different kind of a combination. Let's take one more look at Prater in the number 9. Off of turn 4, the smoke's already going because that's tire smoke. He locked it down coming off the corner. Top break for Thomas Prater out of Mobile, Alabama. Top 10 in the points, the first and only 6 years he's raced full-time coming into the season. Great run for that family team out of Mobile.
And you see a little bit of damage there to the left rear quarter panel and the rear bumper cover on the number 9 machine. Thomas Prater, his dad, they run this team. They're independents. He's got a nickname, too. Thomas Prater is what he likes to call himself. So he's a character. He's part of what the ARCA Racing Series is all about, and we love having him here in the series.
Yeah, he struggled tonight, but a great run at Daytona, I was about to say. Finished 14th there, and a great start to their season. Again, trying to make it full-time out of their little shop in Mobile, Alabama. If you want to join us, hey, join us on Twitter. At MavTV, on Facebook at MavTV. Let's check out some of these tweets, Bob.
Hey, by the way, this is Josh Williams, who won the race just 2 years ago. And he says, if you're not watching us right now, you're missing something. And he's living life right. He's competing in the big leagues of NASCAR right now. And we'd love to see him come back to the ARCA Racing Series as well. But at least he's having a good time. And then, of course, Bakersfield, California. That's Kern County Raceway Park.
No, she's here tonight. She traveled all the way here to see the race.
She's from Bakersfield, California. I should just read the tweet that's on there. But thank you so much, Steph, for watching tonight on MAV TV all the way out from California. And of course, we told you it's a little bit cold here tonight. There's our current weather conditions. Missy is a future forecaster, a weather person. She's doing a good job tonight telling us it's 37 degrees, nearing that freezing mark.
And she has a lot to cheer for those MDM Motorsports teams. Her favorite driver must be right now Zane Smith, our race leader.
Yeah, Zane Smith having that great run, and that last hashtag that she put there. Seeing a couple of cars come down pit road right now. The 32 Gree car for Gus Dean on pit road. Gus Dean had faded back to right about that 10th spot.
Chase Purdy also came down pit road as well. He's that red car also leaving off. Again, the pits were right around in turn 3 and 4.
Let's go down to Mike Wallace. Mike?
Well, I'm out here on the pit box for Michael Self, and he's got the biggest ally you can have in the ARCA Series, 7-time champion Frank Kimmel. And Frank, your car's running to the front. Tell us what's going on. A little bumper cover issue there.
Yeah, I caught passing somebody earlier and caught him just a little bit with the right rear, but Michael's done a great job all day, really. We worked really hard on the car, but everybody at Venture New Motorsports working together, and it's pretty awesome. He's done a nice job today.
I'll tell you what, if I was a driver in this series, this guy right here is who I'd want calling the shots. 7-time champion right there.
It's so strange to see Frank Kimmel on top of the pit box calling the shots for drivers now, and that's what he's going to be doing for Venturini Motorsports. He's won more races in this series than anybody else, 80 total, and championships as well. He sets the mark with 10 titles. So Frank Kimmel was certainly the king of ARCA for so many years.
And the ARCA cycles through. The lead lap cars have the first chance to pit road. This is the cars that are a lap or more down, Riley Herbst among them. Herbst actually went down a lap in that long green flag run on the NOS Energy Toyota, so tough break for that team, but they got the chance to pit the car, do the adjustment they wanted. I was listening to the radio, my Racing Electronics scanner here, during our last commercial break, Bob, and they were just trying to clear him out of the way. They said, we know you got an issue there, and he only chimed back once saying, I can't turn the car in the center. So he's helping that car with an adjustment on pit road that he desperately needed in the number 18 pit.
So we're waiting, we're closing in on the next pit stop sequence here. When will it come? We're 111 laps in to this 200-lap race at the Fairgrounds Speedway, Nashville. Zane Smith, Michael Self, and Chandler Smith, the 15-year-old, looking good tonight.
Working out an incline train there is butter.
This machine is awesome. I don't know how to say it any other way. It's like you're actually there.
We could be running in China.
Red Rock through the streets of Paris.
You got this big, huge screen.
I love it. The trainer who's challenged me in a way that I'd never been challenged before. Dead Horse Point.
We're in Hawaii.
Santorini, Greece. Take it all in. Every day, it's a new adventure.
I have a trainer that's working out with me in my home.
You guys are doing incredible.
You got Johnny on the spot.
Johnny on the spot.
Mr. Johnny on the spot.
Telling you can do this.
Let's run faster, faster.
Come on, keep pushing with me. The trainer will even tell you to get off your treadmill and does cross-training with you. I could feel those muscles burning.
As you're going up, the incline is going up.
In a 12-week study following the workout and diet guide found at NordicTrack.com/incline study, participants lost an average of 20 pounds.
It's easier to put on the jeans. Well, I don't know. How do I look? I'm 55.
I feel fantastic.
Fantastic.
If you want to get from 0.0 to Mach 2,
go get it. It's life-changing.
Go to NordicTrack.com now.
Introducing Lucas Oil Racing TV, your exclusive unlimited 24/7 motorsports app. Now you can watch all your favorite motorsports anytime, anywhere. Get the finest in grassroots racing, national events, live coverage, behind-the-scenes action, and interviews you won't see anywhere else. There's also automotive how-to shows and some of motorsports' biggest names like Dave Despain, hosting the legends and current superstars of racing. For more information, visit lucasoilracing.tv. Lucas Oil Racing TV. Grab it and hold on tight. Tired of looking over your shoulder while driving? Install a simple and effective mirror to eliminate blind spots. MaxiView, the world's best blind spot mirrors. The only stick-on mirror with metallized shatterproof lenses. They provide 3 times more magnification than standard mirrors, are 360-degree adjustable, and are guaranteed not to vibrate off. Visit bestblindspotmirrors.com and receive 50% off. That's a pair of the world's best blind spot mirrors for only $19.99 with a lifetime warranty. Order today at bestblindspotmirrors.com. bestblindspotmirrors.com.
Back to Green Flag Racing here in Nashville, Tennessee, the Music City 200. 115 laps complete. Zane Smith still leads the field. Chandler Smith moving back into the second spot on this restart with Sheldon Creed in third, Michael Self in fourth, and Harrison Burton actually now picking up a spot. He's up to fourth with Self back to fifth. Let's take a look at the DuPont Protect Plus mid-race recap here for the Music City 200. From the get-go, the 15-year-old Chandler Smith looked very good. His first attempt at an ARCA race, and he led the field early on.
And he looked really strong, Bob. And it took a pit stop to lose the lead. This young man had it going on, but there's a lot of action going on behind him. The 32 of Gustine on the inside of Christian Eckes, 2 of the contenders here tonight.
Close call right there for the leader, Chandler Smith. In second place, Zane Smith, when Travis Braden spun coming off of turn number 4. Travis Braden, one of those Scott rookie challengers.
And on the ensuing restart after pit stop, Zane Smith acquired the lead, stayed on the inside on the restart, and was able to march past and away from the number 20 Chandler Smith. His teammate Sheldon Creed also made his way through in the number 28 to second.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed, a force to be reckoned with here tonight, going after his first ARCA Racing Series win, as is the number 41 of Zane Smith. Our DuPont mid-race recap, under caution once again. Saw that from the corner of my eye. Gustine in the green machine comes to a stop in the corner.
Middle of the backstretch for Gus. What a bad break for that team again. He was running up in the top 3, top 4 all night for this team. just a tough break for Gustine. He can't seem to find every element. He only led 21 laps in his victory at Talladega. He's only led that 16 laps since, and that came on the short track last year at Madison International Speedway. So when they return there back June 15th, he'll be one of the favorites to watch, but he had high hopes tonight. We see the left front tire might have an issue as well.
And listen, when we go to Salem in a couple of weeks, right there in southern Indiana, he will be a challenger for the victory. He finished second there last year. He was fourth in points 1 season ago. Everybody expects him to contend for the title, but from whatever has happened with this team, we know the car not under power got a push to pit road.
Issues under that could. Again, we have not raced since Daytona. This team did come here and test. They went through this race car. Jamie Jones is an excellent mechanic and crew chief for this team.
Well, that's a big change for this team as well, with Jamie Jones coming over here. Now, Jamie Jones was with Kevin Sawinski in Wintron Motorsports a couple of years ago, went to MDM last year, and we talk about MDM being a big force here in the ARCA Racing Series this year. Well, he's brought some of that knowledge back to Wintron and Gustine's team. Christian Eckes on pit road in the JBL number 15.
Again, Eckes, one of the drivers we are going to watch intently tonight. We've been doing it throughout. He has not had the car to back up those speeds he had when they came here and tested. They are doing everything they can to make adjustments on that JBL Audio number 15 Toyota. Gustine, left rear, you know what that means? The tire's off. They're looking forward. That's where the battery box is.
Yeah, they're looking at the battery right now. So unfortunate circumstances for the driver out of South Carolina, Gustine, here tonight. They'll switch that battery, hopefully get it fired once again. Let's go down to Mike.
Yeah, guys, we're here with Gustine's crew. What happened, the battery has went bad on the car. They've just pulled this battery just now out of the car. It's located in front of the left rear tire. You see the crew member under there reinstalling a new battery. They got quick disconnects on it. Hopefully the car will refire and their issues will be solved. That sometimes happens when you break an alternator wire that doesn't keep charging. These cars got so much charging going through them, so it looks like they're reassembling. Motor's refired. They're happy with that. Put the tire back on and we'll be ready to go here momentarily.
Yeah, they have to put that panel back up there on the left rear to make sure that that is sealed and then get going once again.
That's Jamie Jones, the crew chief, overseeing that. And we have electronic fuel injection now. We've got a lot of things that rely upon this motor and the Holley ignition system. That's all driven and generated, and those alternator, you know, the numbers have to be there, the volts have to be there, or it's going to die quickly.
If you look at the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards, it has really grown over the last half a decade or so, and the Ilmor engine is certainly part of that. Folks, tell us what you think of this race tonight, the Music City 200. Use the hashtag MAVTV or hashtag Motorsports Network. We are monitoring things every chance we can get. We love conversing with you. Ask some questions. Tell us where you're watching from. And there you see right here, Mullins Racing. Watching at home, hate not running here at the Fairgrounds Speedway tonight.
But Willie, you still got a second place finish at Daytona to revel till you come back out here and join us. Get out here soon, would you?
Absolutely. Alec Jorgensen, he's a guy actually that works with me a little bit with my Speed51.com company, and he's watching tonight, a new subscriber to Lucas Oil Racing TV, and of course, we're live on MAV TV as well as LOR TV.
Yeah, take us on the road with you. Any mobile device, lucasoilracing.tv.
Darrell Canfield, a buddy of mine from New York, watching tonight. Probably has some snow on the ground, but he is a big fan of Chandler Smith. Saw him run the Snowball Derby. Chandler Smith finishing second in the Winchester 400 at Fame Race in Indiana last year.
Now we see the cars weaving, Bob. It's still really cold outside. And these teams want to get the heat in these tires. They know they have whatever they have now until they preferably don't want to see the caution again until maybe like 45, 50 laps to go. But I don't know if these teams will be able to wait that long. I think the next Amber might see a lot of activity on pit road.
You know, we mentioned the race in Salem, Indiana, a couple of weeks down the line. That's April 22nd, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. High banked racing. Somebody once told me, Tim Sauter, a former ASA National Tour champion, basically how you run Salem, Indiana, turns 1 and 2 is like any other racetrack. You go down the backstretch, and when you hit the wall in turn 3, you turn left.
And you know what? There's drivers that have had success there and want to go back. Alex Bowman said, my favorite track not on our Cup schedule, Salem, Indiana. Christopher Bell, too, my goodness.
Hey, by the way, lots of racing coming up on Lucas Oil Racing TV as well. I'll be out in Chandler, Arizona next week for the Duel in the Desert. That's the kickoff of the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series presented by Geico. And then, as we mentioned, back to the ARCA Racing Series on the 21st. We're really excited for the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series with the Busch 50 at Tri-City Speedway just outside of St. Louis. Lucas Oil Modifieds, the SRL Southwest Tour, all sorts of racing action, including motocross on Lucas Oil Racing TV.
Yeah, set that reminder. It's going to tell you exactly what series you want to see. That set reminder on lucasoilracing.com/set reminder. That's the ticket. It'll let you know, hey, your race is coming up in 2 minutes, 2 days, 2 hours. Thanks for joining us live here tonight.
Yeah, just minutes before each airing, you will actually get that reminder. Here we go, the pair of Smiths on the front row for this one. The leader choosing the inside. Zane Smith, the green flag is out once again. 124 laps complete.
For the second straight restart, Zane Smith on the inside, but the car started outside of him last run was the 55 of Michael South. We see that white and green 55 mired back there, just running, hanging on to the top 5.
The car that I'm looking at, the Dex Imaging number 12 for Harrison Burton, the son of NASCAR Cup Series winner Jeff Burton. He won the NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series East in Harrison Burton last year, and now he has moved up to the second spot. Remember, they were late to tech, took a provisional starting spot to make the field here tonight, and now in second spot, Zane Smith. Better worry what's out his rearview mirror.
And with all the laps that his dad, Jeff Burton, has run and all the races he's won, Jeff Burton's only raced here one time. So this is not a track that he can go to talk to his dad a lot at length about how to get around Nashville Fairgrounds.
Battles all over the racetrack. We go on board with Christian Eckes with the JVL camera. And Christian Eckes, remember, pitted just a little while ago. He's currently running in 12th.
Giving you a good look here at how tight things are, how tight corners are, how difficult maybe pass with these older tires now on this racetrack.
Zane Smith first. Burton is now in second. Sheldon Creed and Chandler Smith continue to battle for that second spot. This is a kid, though, Christian Eckes, that we think is going to win some races this year. He finished second in Elko, Minnesota last year.
Great
contact right there between the 55. Wow, Michael Self and Chandler Smith getting into it just a little bit, coming down the front stretch.
You know, I said tight quarters, and it doesn't matter if they're teammates or not. They want to get in position. Every pass counts now. These old tires get worn out. They know what they have. They've got to take every advantage to get a spot. The 55 of Self did just that on the 20 of his teammate, Chandler Smith.
How about this? Natalie Decker and that N29, number 25 for Venturini Motorsports. Remember, took the free pass a little while ago. She is up to 6th. On board with Riley Herbst and the Orca Coolers onboard camera. This kid has had a tough time here today at this racetrack.
Yeah, Riley was just trying to get out of the way, and Booty Barker, his crew chief, said, stay with us, we know you got to be patient, and when they have the opportunity to come down pit road, they fix that car. It's turning a ton better for the 18 team out of the Coy Gibbs Racing camp.
Yeah, the problem is he's running 14th, 3 laps down at this point. There is Gustine. Remember, Mike Wallace told you about the battery issue on that green number 32 a little while ago. He's back out on the racetrack, but unfortunately for Gustine, he's running 17th, 5 laps down.
Herbst now inside of the 20 of Chandler Smith. That's not for position. Smith now high on the racetrack in the 20.
Chandler Smith continues to fall back a little bit. Smith running in 5th on the racetrack. The cars that he was battling with, though, as we mentioned, laps down, both the 18 and the 32, Riley Herbst and Gustine.
Look at this green car on the bottom. They are trying to do everything they can to get as many spots. Every point counts. It's 5 points per position here, and the championship was even a tie one year for the championship title.
Sorting things out. We're getting down closer to the last 50 here in Nashville.
For more than half a century, Sioux Chief has been the name to know for quality American-made rough plumbing products. It's the choice of contractors with stylish and innovative shower drains, bracketing systems, and a full line of supply fittings. Sioux Chief expansion grip systems provide solid connections. Protect your ice maker, dishwasher, toilet, or washing machine from harmful water hammer by installing a Sioux Chief mini rester that's guaranteed for the lifetime of your home's plumbing. Sioux Chief is your plumbing solution. Available at your nearest Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You can't fake greatness. Not on the track and not in the chip aisle. Like a seasoned driver behind the wheel, Hearst chips take you from caution flag levels of hunger to checkered flag feelings of satisfaction. When it comes to race day snacks, the signature crunch and endless flavors of hers leaves the competition in a pile of chip dust. Don't settle for anything less than the champions of the chip aisle. Hers, forever good. Available at Menards.
With Car Gurus, you don't have to know much about cars to know everything about a car.
New wheels, huh? What year?
2016.
What you got under the hood?
Honestly, I don't know what I'm looking at. But I used Car Gurus, so I know I got a great deal. Car Gurus has more listings than any other major site, gives each car a deal rating, and sorts the best deals first.
Turbo or supercharged?
Both.
Go to Car Gurus today to find great deals from top-rated dealers near you.
Give us the work no one else wants to do. We don't just go against the grain, we grow it. Give us the frontiers. The places where success is measured and pushed limits. Give us the middle of nowhere, where the only map is your buddy's tread marks. This life, no one's born ready for it.
Yellow flag flies once again here at the Music City 200 in Nashville, Tennessee, the fourth caution of the night. And this one, Riley Herbst actually spinning on the backstretch to bring out the caution once again. Zane Smith still leading, Harrison Burton in second. Zane Smith has been the dominator here since getting the lead on a pit stop sequence. His team got him out after making that pit stop. We'll see what shakes down on this caution period because the pits could be busy.
And we saw a couple of guys losing the handle, literally, including our pole sitter, Chandler Smith, who was dropping back in the field, back to sixth here. So this caution comes at a perfect time for that 15-year-old to come to pit road and the attention of the car number 20 and that team led by Billy Venturini, the team general manager.
So Zane Smith coming down pit road. Remember, he took 2 tires on his first stop. This guy has been the hard charger. And I really think that even though Zane Smith has been so dominant, Harrison Burton might have the best car in the field. He's been consistent. He's been patient. Exactly what we've seen out of this driver, especially since he started really his winning ways in 2017. He won Speed Fest last year down in Cordele, Georgia, and that really just set things off. He won on the K&N East Circuit, won the championship in the final race in a battle with Todd Gilliland, and he opened the season this year with wins at New Smyrna as well as the Rattler in South Alabama Speedway.
And he's raced Kyle Busch's truck at Martinsville. He's got a very active schedule. He's only run 8 or 9 super late model races, but we'll see him here. We'll see him in the K&N Series. We'll see him in the Truck Series. Who knows what else he's going to put together, but he's a very accomplished racer for his age, and the ability to race in a lot of different disciplines has come to fore. This kid has a lot of talent. He's showing it no matter what he drives.
Here we go. Teams coming down pit road. I believe we'll see just about everybody. There they go. They duck down pit road. Zane Smith has one of those early pit stops, but the 12, both MDM teams are there as well. Let's go down to Mike Wallace.
We're here at Harrison Burton's pit. They're in there on 4 tires is the strategy here. They were thrilled to death to see the caution. You see them around the right side. Cars coming down. They're working themselves to the left side. The rear tire changers are there. The 41, the leader's 2 cars in front of them right now. The 2 MDM cars are all the MDM cars here. Left sides are on. A little slow on the left front right now. Got a little behind. 41 got out. They got a problem. Now they're away.
That's a slow stop, as Mike noted, for the Dex Imaging team for Harrison Burton. Zane Smith having another good stop, and he will lead the brigade off of pit road, I believe, as I look out my window. Yes, indeed. There it is, the 28 of Sheldon Creed, Michael Self in the 55, and 4th off of pit road, the number 12 of Harrison Burton.
3 cars did stay out on the racetrack, but Burton, with the number of cars on lead lap and how slow that stop went, he's got a lot of ground to make up. He got up to second with a long run speed. Now he's got to weave that car back into position here in that car number 12. We'll see on the scoring refresh here at the start and finish line what exactly position he'll be in. But the top 3 cars on our restart will have older tires in front of these cars, chomping at the bit with 4 fresh General tires.
Track position is very critical, but right now the 77 of Joe Graf Jr., he's being scored the leader. But these guys behind him, with 3 guys staying out, they're going to gobble them up in a hurry.
You'll see what new tires mean here at the racetrack for real. All 4 fresh now.
Yeah, there's Zane Smith, another good pit stop by that MDM team. And Zane hoping for his first ARCA Racing Series win here tonight, as we mentioned. He's finished second several times here in the ARCA Racing Series. Never has gotten to that victory lane point, and he's really hungry to do that here and prove himself, because he's eyeing that climb, and that's what the ARCA Racing Series is. It's part of the ladder system to the uppermost levels of racing.
One of the drivers there in the NASCAR Next program, and he certainly has the experience here. Ran the All-American 400 back in 2015, that great season he had. He also raced here last year, started 7th and finished 10th in his ARCA Racing Series short track debut on this racetrack. So I think it's going to be down to Smith and how cleanly he can get the restart. To help him along, his spotter is Landon Huffman tonight, another short tracker that would love to get a chance to get back in one of these ARCA cars again.
And his crew chief, Marty Lindley. You talk about a guy, a former driver, a multi-time winner in the Pro Cup Series, and just a guy that knows the ins and outs of racing, and that's what MDM has basically assembled. Some very smart people to lead their team.
Yeah, Mark McFarland and the team. Travis Miller is the general manager. Travis's dad, Matt's involved with the day-to-day, paying the bills. Travis is involved in placing these teams. Up until 2018, they had 45 different starts in the ARCA Racing Series, 12 different drivers. There's a lot of starts and a lot of things going on at MDM this year.
We've had a few different cautions here. Will we go green the rest of the way? The big question right now.
We believe in cleaner air for our families and yours. That's why we created DuPont Air Filtration. We use science and technology to remove impurities and airborne allergens, protecting not just you, but also your heating and air conditioning system, so that you can breathe easy, knowing that you're taking the best possible care of your family. Enjoy cleaner air with our great selection of air filters in our plumbing department today. DuPont Air Filtration, available at Menards. It's DIY project season. Painting and prep, caulking and heavy-duty cleaning, landscaping. You've got this. DIY like the pros and trade up to Scott Rags. These all-purpose towels are strong, absorbent, and perform like cloths. Keep the kitchen paper towels in the kitchen where they belong. So whether you're a DIYer at home or a pro at the work site, give your project your best, Scott. Trade up to Scott Rags. Available at Menards.
Race fans know it takes raw power to get results, whether it's on the track or at the job site. Masterforce tools have the power and performance to get the job done right. The 20-volt Flex Power interchangeable battery system powers a complete collection of professional-grade tools, start to finish. Tools that you can rely on for the long haul. Take your projects across the finish line with Masterforce, available only at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
For more than half a century, Sioux Chief has been the name to know for quality American-made rough plumbing products. It's the choice of contractors with stylish and innovative shower drains, bracketing systems, and a full line of supply fittings. Sioux Chief expansion grip systems provide solid connections. Protect your ice maker, dishwasher, toilet, or washing machine from harmful water hammer by installing a Sioux Chief mini rester that's guaranteed for the lifetime of your home's plumbing. Sioux Chief is your plumbing solution. Available at your nearest Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
You told us where you wanted to ride. Over punishing climbs, freewheeling straightaways, rocks, dirt, mud, and sand. So we built the only ride that could handle it all. Wildcat XX has arrived. An off-road racing-inspired suspension system. 18 inches of front and rear travel. And Fox 2.5 Podium QS3 shocks with bottom-out control. It handles boldly, corners ruthlessly, and puts ride over everything.
Restart now here at Fairgrounds Speedway Nashville for the Music City 200. Joe Graf Jr. in the 77. Your leader did not come down pit road. We believe he's going to be a sitting duck on the racetrack with older rubber compared to everyone else.
Well, Zane Smith has to find that lane, and those two tires in the 22 seem to be working now. Those teammates on the outside at 4 wide into turn number 3. Are you kidding me?
Oh, is that going to work right there? 3 wide. Michael Self on the inside has the preferred line. Self in the 55 up to third. But, man, it is a mad dash scramble right now, side by side for first and second and third and fourth.
Self was in the lead position to win the last two ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards Races. He was on the inside on a restart at Kansas in the season finale last year. The C's parted with a big crash. He won the race at Daytona because he stayed on the bottom. Look at that move he did. That green and white Sinclair car is coming on the inside.
We'll see if everybody stays patient right here because remember, Self, Smith, Sheldon Creed, they have fresher rubber. Joe Graf Jr., older rubber. Here comes Michael Self, the Daytona winner on the inside of the 77. A battle for the lead with 50 to go. Self has got it glued to that yellow line on the bottom side of the racetrack, but I am very impressed with Joe Graf Jr. I've watched him in late models. This right here on older rubber, the best I've ever seen him race.
With a throbbing left foot, broken metatarsal on top of that left foot in this driver's seat, the number 77. Charging on here for what could be a career run in his first start in the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards.
We know how good Zane Smith is. He moves into the second spot by the 77 of Graf. Now here comes Sheldon Creed, the former off-road racer, converted to the pavement scene, trying to climb the ranks here in racing on pavement. And Sheldon Creed moves up to third.
Creed led the most laps at Daytona, 35 all told, so he was really ready for the season. When they came and tested just last week, the MDM team came in force, 3 cars strong, Sheldon among the fastest in the longer runs. This now will be a sprint to settle in when those tires wear, when those tires plateau. Creed wants to be in the position to challenge for this win.
Here's the battle between the team cars. For Chad Bryant, the 22 of Dipple on the inside, that last pit stop sequence, he got 2 tires. Battle for the lead as well in the upper left-hand portion of the screen. Good battles all over the racetrack, and it looks like Harrison Burton in the number 12 is trapped just a little bit after that slow pit stop.
Don't keep your eyes anywhere but on this battle because we've got 2 great battles, including the 12 of Burton. Our pole sitter, Chandler Smith, that black and blue 20, he's also looking for a spot to charge. I'd say that kid's not done yet. On the outside now, the 22 of the 2 tires fresh under the 22 for the number 22 machine is Dipple. Dipple on the inside. 12 is Burton. 20 is Chandler Smith here at Nashville.
And Chandler Smith trying to climb back up. He had slipped back just a little bit, but a great run for the 15-year-old. Here's the battle for the lead. And I posed this to Michael Self earlier today. What if you were able to win the first 2 races of the year? Would you continue on? He's only supposed to run a part-time schedule. He said, oh man, I don't even want to allow myself to think about it, but he might not have to. Here comes Zane Smith on the outside. Zane Smith, very strong in a place that you don't normally see passing here around the Fairgrounds Speedway Nashville racetrack. In the lead for the 41, once again, for the California kid. Oh, Sheldon Creed right there as well, Jim. Here comes Creed in the 28. The door was opened by Zane Smith. The 28 out of MDM Motorsports in second. Self back to third.
Just that quick, Bob. A lap and a half from first to third. It's 1 missed corner, 2 charged too heavy into the corner here on this aged surface at Nashville. Last time paved in 1995. I walked in this place, walked across the track. I thought it was 1965 the last time they repaved it. This track is certainly proven to test for a lot of teams.
But we're not knocking this racetrack because the drivers love it. And the fans that are in the grandstands, they love the experience of seeing some great racing. And sometimes when you have older pavement, it really wears out those tires. They lose grip. And because of that, you see great racing.
And we see a great battle. We've never come to Nashville and leave disappointed. I love this racetrack. I've been coming here for decades. Back in the 80s in the All-American 400, watching 60, 70 super late models. We caught a glimpse today with Bubba Pollard and a bunch of all-star super late model drivers at 100 lapper here. Great, great event weekend.
Zane Smith continues to lead. The caution comes out here with 40 laps to go. For more on that 41, let's go to Mike Wallace.
Marty Lindley a few moments ago, and he's expecting to win the race. I mean, they feel they got a car that's capable of running up front. Zane's been doing a great job, especially for the age that boy is. He's a young man that is doing a great job. So the 41, the MDM crew, is feeling they got a car that will win the race today.
That car has been pretty stout all day long, and a lot of people expected them to be among the fastest cars here today, but he's still got to contend with a teammate that is running right behind him, Sheldon Creed. Michael Self falling back to that third spot, and there's a little bit of damage, or at least something caught up in the left rear of the 12 for Harrison Burton.
looks like maybe the fender inner liner or something he picked up on the racetrack. There is, I believe, debris on the racetrack. We see the sweeper truck now leaving the pit road and heading to the backstretch to try to perhaps get some fluid off the racetrack. We see debris there.
There's the debris on the racetrack. The cause for the caution here, 160 laps in the books. So we're go time now. Especially on these restarts, everybody knows you need to capitalize then because that's your best opportunity to actually gain a spot. For more on the 28 of Sheldon Creed, here's Mike Wallace.
Sheldon earlier in the day, and then right before he got in the car, he says, man, I'm kind of new to this whole short track thing, but I can get it done. I'm used to those short stints like I run in the desert and things of that nature. They feel they got a really good car. I talked to his crew chief earlier, Jeff Stawinski, and they're feeling confident. They're going to challenge that 41 for the race win, they feel.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed, he's a racer. I mean, if you watch him from the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series where he won the Pro Light Championship to here, he can adapt to any type of race car.
Last season, he ran in 7 different series.
One in the Trans Am Series?
Yes, at Road America, the same weekend that he ran the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. He ran an off-road truck race. I said, aren't you done with that? He said, no, I'm not quite done doing that. He ran the Xfinity Series, he ran the Truck Series, he ran the K&N East and West.
Here's what's interesting. Everywhere. I was talking to him earlier today, and honestly, I said, hey, what have you been doing the last couple of weeks? He said, nothing much. And his team said, what do you mean nothing much? He went out to Glamis and the sand dunes. You know, he went snowboarding last week. So a busy guy is Sheldon Creed, and so is Michael Self. Michael is a decorated race car driver. He's won a ton of races in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West. He comes over here to ARCA. You know, he's won on a couple of different occasions as well. So Michael Self still has a shot here tonight. Do you agree, Mike Wallace?
Michael Self is in this race with a tremendous amount of confidence. He's won the last 2 races. He's looking for race number 3. We talked to Frank Kimmel, his crew chief, a little while ago. Frank wanted me to correct, first of all, he's not a 7-time champion. He's a 10-time champion. But he's leading Michael Self. These top 3 cars, the 41, the 28, the 55, it's going to be an awesome race.
An awesome race indeed. Michael Self trying to go for 3 straight ARCA Racing Series wins with that win to close the season last year and the win to open the season at Daytona. But this is a completely different animal here. The short track, just a little over a half-mile in length is this racetrack. Christian Eckes in the 15. We expected him to contend for the win, currently riding in 9th for Venturini Motorsports in the JBL car.
And to point out how important this restart will be, Michael Self started the inside of the 3rd row and took the lead. He's now going to start inside the 2nd row in that Sinclair Lubricants number 55. So we'll see how this restart plays out with Zane Smith now deciding. Again, I'd say it's driven by who's in row 2 for where Smith will start this restart, on the inside or outside as our leader.
The ARCA Coolers onboard camera for Riley Herbst. Man, it has not been his day. Currently running in 15th, 3 laps down for last year's Rookie of the Year winner.
I believe it's going to come down to Harrison Burton and his restart as well. He's just ahead of the 18. We can see through the windshield that red and white Dex imaging machine as we see the 18 come to pit road. I think Harrison Burton, up to 4th, has a shot at this one before we're too long as well.
Things settling in here in Nashville. So as Riley Herbst circles the racetrack, let's go down pit side to Mike Wallace one more time.
Guys, the drama is building. We're going to be inside 35 laps here before long. And the nice part now, the top 4 cars came in on the last stop, had 4 tires. So there's no cars with 2 tires, anything slowing up the front of the field. And they're going to fight for positions. It's going to be very, very intense when the green flag comes back out.
I'm looking forward to it, Jim. I think this is going to be awfully interesting because a lot of people may deem this as their final shot. They don't know if they're going to get another caution. So I think all these guys up in the front are going to be fighting tooth and nail.
One more swing at it for Christian Eckes on pit road. The JBL Audio number 15. They did an adjustment with the right rear and a wrench in the window. So if he has a chance, it's going to have to come here. He's going to have to go from the very, very tail of the field with just so few laps left.
13 cars on the lead lap. It's a good call, honestly, by Kevin Reed and that team to bring him down pit road. That car's not been handling the way Christian Eckes wants it. Make an adjustment. Go for it. That's what you got to do to try to win races.
And Eckes is going for the Sioux Chief Short Track Challenge this year. He's got 13 opportunities behind the wheel of this Venturini Motorsports machine.
So here we go. Side by side, Zane Smith and Sheldon Creed, they fire. Watch the battle as we head into turn number 1. What a run. What a run by Sheldon Creed. He is going to blast by Zane Smith for that top spot. And side by side for third, I saw Self and Harrison Burton beating and banging around this bull ring.
Still under contest with that battle for third into turn 1. This lap looks like Self has a slight advantage.
Both of those guys, very talented race car drivers. Michael Self knows, he's a short track guy now, running the ARCA Racing Series, running, in the past, the K&N Pro Series West. But Harrison Burton is climbing the ladder. A top 5 for him in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series last year at Martinsville. Here comes Tyler Dipple. Remember, only 2 tires on that last stop, but he is hanging tough in the top 10.
Dipple spent a lot of time racing with Harrison Burton on the K&N East Series last year. Dipple looking for more opportunities here in the ARCA Racing Series with this Chad Bryant Racing team. Put on a great run tonight in the 22.
I wonder, did they make an adjustment on that 12 of Harrison Burton because he was so much better before this last pit stop where he took on the 4 tires. It looks like the handling has gone away a little bit on Harrison Burton's machine.
Got a glimpse of Chandler Smith also up to 6th. He restarted 8th, so he's on a bit of a burst here lately going for our pole sitter.
Under 30 to go. Zane Smith looking to the inside of the 28 of Sheldon Creed. These are teammates, but I don't think they're going to play nice with the win on the line at the end of this race if it comes down to it.
And both know how to handle loose race cars, so if they're going to use their tires up, they know how to keep a management of really worn-out tires underneath it. Creed with more recent experience in the dirt. But guess what? Zane's got a trophy with his teammate just a couple weeks ago in a short course run in an off-road truck.
Yeah, I mean, these guys come from off-road racing. The driver control that you exude in the cockpit of an off-road truck or any other vehicle is unlike any other. And these two are showing it around an old, worn-out racetrack here in Nashville, Tennessee. You see a little bit of a slower car out front. Joe Graf Jr. And they're approaching that slower car right now. Zane Smith to the inside of the 28 of Creed.
Graf restarted 7th with those 2 tires, and you can tell now the tires are gone away. Not for position here. Graf's about to go a lap down to these guys.
That was awfully interesting. Zane Smith making a bold move to get around that slower car of Graf. That didn't slow down his momentum too much. A good move by the 18-year-old.
Sheldon Creed, the ancient one at age 20. First full season ARCA Racing Series is this year, but last year he learned a ton. Super Speedways, he said, man, I love this race car. I love running the ARCA Racing Series. I'm learning a ton. He ran well at Pocono. They're getting testing opportunities throughout the year with MDM. Creed coming into his own here would be a huge win for this Californian.
Great shots by all of our Lucas Oil production team here, showing us the pictures around this racetrack. Harrison Burton, the biggest mover so far in this race.
And you know what? He's not done yet, I don't think. He's really got to run, not only back from way back in the 20s, but this late race run, coming up to 4th on the restart, 3rd on the restart. He's right here now, challenging. Well, trying to close that gap as Gustine spent more time on pit road just a moment ago in that 32, not racing for position just ahead of him.
Yeah, so Jeff Burton, the biggest mover. Thad Moffitt, he had gained a bunch of spots as well. Thad Moffitt, Richard Petty's grandson, in 12th.
On lead lap, that's a small victory for that young man who's in his first of 20 straight race weekends, mostly late models. We'll see him back here just in a couple weeks, live on MAV at Salem.
So it looks like Zane Smith goes after Sheldon Creed. And then when, he has to back it down, maybe, cool off his tires just a little bit, and then go and, gather himself up and go after it like he's doing it once again on his teammate.
Attack to the inside off of turn 4, that's where it started, and now he's going to finish it off. Runs up the racetrack and gets the lead back on Creed.
What a mover by Zane Smith to go back out front here in the Music City 200. Almost like a slide job that he just did there on his teammate Sheldon Creed. Creed trying to hold on. Closing in on 20 laps to go here in the second race of the season for the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. Jim will take a look at the pass for the lead here, and it was picture perfect by the 41 of Zane Smith.
Started with a wide entry in turn 3 here off of turn number 2. He completes the pass, not the lap car to worry about, but he got in position on the inside of turn 1, and Creed had to give him the spot. Had to give him room.
And look at the gap that he has put between he and Sheldon Creed already, about 4 or 5 car lengths. That car is in a class by itself.
And these guys were part-timers last year. Zane ran 14 races, and this year he's also eligible to win the Scott Rookie Challenge. So there's a lot on the line. They're running for full-time points, but Zane wants to add a long list of famous drivers as ARCA Racing Series Rookies of the Year.
You never know what's going to happen. We could have another caution. Who knows what's going to happen here at the conclusion of the Music City 200.
You can't fake greatness. Not on the track and not in the chip aisle. Like a seasoned driver behind the wheel, hers chips take you from caution flag levels of hunger to checkered flag feelings of satisfaction. When it comes to race day snacks, the signature crunch and endless flavors of hers leaves the competition in a pile of chip dust. Don't settle for anything less than the champions of the chip aisle. Hers, forever good. Available at Menards. We believe in cleaner air for our families and yours. That's why we created DuPont Air Filtration. We use science and technology to remove impurities and airborne allergens, protecting not just you, but also your heating and air conditioning system, so that you can breathe easy, knowing that you're taking the best possible care of your family. Enjoy cleaner air with our great selection of air filters in our plumbing department today. DuPont Air Filtration, available at Menards.
Carl Renazenter's running a flawless race here today.
You got to be able to finish strong.
74 is done for the day. That's going to hurt. Now they're side by side in the whoop section. Rally. And the white flag is out. This is the final lap. Come on.
Give us the work no one else wants to do. We don't just go against the grain, we grow it. Give us the frontiers, the places where success is measured and pushed limits. Give us the middle of nowhere, where the only map is your buddy's tread marks. This life, no one's born ready for it.
Welcome back to the Music City 200 here in Nashville, Tennessee, live on MAV TV. Michael Self trying to win again here in the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. He won the opener at Daytona, currently running in third, but Harrison Burton in that 12 is starting to apply some pressure.
This is 3 seconds behind the leader, but this has really heated up here, Bob. They are really going at it. We see the brake drums illuminating. Those discs are getting nice and hot on the 55. He's giving everything he can. Self there ahead of Burton. Burton's trying to do everything he can. They appear to be almost equal. They're running the same line, same lap times, and Burton may not have enough to get around the 55er challenge here in these waning moments.
10 laps to go around this racetrack for Zane Smith. Harrison Burton, by the way, tells me he's going to run about 10 ARCA Racing Series events in 2018. To the inside of Michael Self, can't get his nose underneath the 55.
This is the battle among the kingpins right now in ARCA, the Venturini Motorsports camp. They brought 4 cars. 4 bullets in the chamber, if you will, for MDM Motorsports in the 28 machine of our race leader and Zane Smith. They've led a bunch of laps. Harrison Burton's also a teammate for MDM in the 12.
We call them the super teams of the ARCA Racing Series, and there's a little bit of a rivalry situation brewing between MDM and Venturini Motorsports. MDM, the newcomer. Venturini, with the history in ARCA, Big Bill, a former champion. They've been around for a long time, and they don't want MDM to steal the spotlight.
No, and what I love about Harrison Burton, he's not done yet. He's spent his time behind the 55 himself. It's his time to go. He put it on the gas pedal off of turn number 3, got to the inside, got into Self's run line, and now Self could do nothing but say, okay, you got the spot. We're not going to bump and bang. I need a top 5 run here for my team in the 55.
A good move by Self. He knew he wasn't going to be able to haul off Harrison Burton, so rather than those two get together, he went way up the racetrack and allowed the 12 of Harrison Burton to go by. Teenagers looking pretty good. First and third on the racetrack. Zane Smith in that 41 leads the field. 5 laps to go. A lot of times they'll say drivers that haven't won in a particular series, those final laps among the most emotional for those drivers.
And Creed's done a lot. He's really raced well. You know, coming into this weekend, if you had to say 2 guys to pick, I would say Creed would be on the list, Eckes would be on the list. But honestly, there's 14 legitimate teams that could have won this race tonight based upon how well they practiced, how well they tested. Creed almost gave it away right there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You can see, you know, the tires going away a little bit. He's pushing it for all it's worth. And we see about a second to a second and a half drop off from qualifying times to race pace here. And those tires do drop off in a hurry. They don't wear out. They just lose grip.
And Burton trying to do everything he can here to close the gap from the 3rd spot. Started way back in the field and really has done a nice job. Then I got in contention quickly, as did Riley Herbst for a portion.
Michael Self currently running in 4th, the Daytona winner. I believe he's going to come up a little bit short here tonight unless we have a caution, which could certainly change the complexion of the race. In the 5th spot right behind him is the number 20 machine of Chandler Smith, the 15-year-old pole sitter here today.
Update quickly on the car that was running 10th when we went to our last commercial break. As soon as we did that, Thad Moffa came down pit road. Lengthy pit stop for that 14. The Empire Racing team trying to get back on track. He is back on track, but now back in 14th spot.
White flag in the air for Zane Smith.
We'll see if he can win. Another first-time winner in ARCA Racing Series is 2 turns away here at Nashville.
Making it look easy here in the Music City. The California Kid is going to rock here in Nashville. Zane Smith wins his first ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards race, and his crew is going to celebrate on pit road. An exciting night for that 18-year-old here in Nashville, Tennessee. He's not even old enough to go to the bar scene down there in downtown Nashville.
But he gets to pick up one of the most famous trophies in all of sports after this race win.
The guitar he will hoist in Victory Lane tonight. That MDM team, he switched to that organization about 3/4 of the way through last year, and it provided some good success right off the bat. 3 prior runner-up finishes for Zane Smith before finally winning here tonight in Nashville. Let's go down to Mike Wallace.
Can't be any happier for this group, man. They kicked butt all night long. Marty, what do you think of your team and crew?
Man, I just want to thank everybody at MDM Motorsports, all Zane sponsors, Icon, La Paz, Speed Vegas, everybody. It's a big team effort here for all our teams. 1-2 finish here for MDM Motorsports, and you know, what you say is it's been a long time coming for Zane. He drove a smart race.
Outstanding. Let's go to Victory Lane. How about that?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's a long walk from where they're pitted to Victory Lane. So MDM, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd here tonight. That team started off here on the Sioux Chief Short Track Challenge with a vengeance.
7th victory already for this team in the ARCA Racing Series in just a few seasons.
We'll be right back here to Nashville, Tennessee to meet your winner, Zane Smith, Sheldon Creed, and Harrison Burton, also out of the MDM stables.
It's DIY project season. Painting and prep, caulking and heavy-duty cleaning, landscaping. You've got this. DIY like the pros and trade up to Scott Rags. These all-purpose towels are strong, absorbent, and perform like cloths. Keep the kitchen paper towels in the kitchen where they belong. So whether you're a DIYer at home or a pro at the work site, give your project your best, Scott. Trade up to Scott Rags. Available at Menards.
Race fans know it takes raw power to get results, whether it's on the track or at the job site. Masterforce tools have the power and performance to get the job done right. The 20-volt Flex Power interchangeable battery system powers a complete collection of professional-grade tools, start to finish. Tools that you can rely on for the long haul. Take your projects across the finish line with Masterforce, available only at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Daytona, Talladega, Michigan, Pocono, Kentucky. One day, I'm gonna win them all.
With General Tire, anywhere is possible. Imagine a lawn vacuum powerful enough to clear the largest lawns clean as a carpet in one pass, and compact enough to hang right on the wall.
Hitching a Cyclone rake to your riding mower gives you 10 times the lifting power, with many times the debris capacity of mowers alone. It makes your toughest spring cleanup easy and cuts overgrown summer lawns down to size in a fraction of the time. When autumn comes, you'll clear the heaviest leaf cover with sitting down ease. And when you're done, the Cyclone rake folds flat in a few steps without any tools for space-saving storage right on your wall. We're so confident that you'll love the Cyclone rake, we'll let you try it risk-free for a full year. Go ahead, put it to the test. If you're not thrilled, return it for a full refund. To learn more, call now for your free information kit. Call 1-800-804-6131. That's 1-800-804-6131. Or visit CycloneRake.com. Call now.
Zane Smith pulls his number 41 in victory lane here for the Music City 200 for the ARCA Racing Series, presented by Menards at the Fairgrounds Speedway, Nashville. Time to go to victory lane where our Mike Wallace is standing by.
Zane Smith, buddy, man, we talked before the race. What an incredible show you put on.
Dude, I can't believe this, man. I've been waiting forever to get one of these things, and I mean, win in general. I started to doubt myself last year, and this whole team, Marty, all the guys just brought me right back up.
Come on, Zane, get out of the car. Let's share that excitement. Hey, good job, man.
Damn.
Just to follow up, I mean, you had a great car all night long. Your crew did great. Your teammate in the 28 car, Sheldon Creed. Just tell me your thoughts right now.
Dude, like I said, I can't believe it. I've been waiting so long for this, and this is what I needed. Honestly, our full year isn't even fully funded yet, and I really need to prove myself, and I did that tonight. And all I can say is thank you to our night went perfect tonight. Thank you, Marty, all my guys, Gabe, Beavis, Lutz, Landon, Swan did an awesome job all night, and Pit Road, they killed it all night. But thank you all the fans for coming out in this cold weather. Man, this was brutal all weekend, but this day has been bad fast, and just an awesome night. I got the chills.
Well, congratulations. You made a statement. Might be a good chance to get the rest of that car sponsored, but good job. We're going to let the guys up at the booth talk how good about you now.
Zane Smith indeed breaks a 2-year winless streak in any form of racing right here in Nashville tonight. Sheldon Creed in second. Harrison Burton completes the MDM sweep of the podium in third. Then there's Michael Self in the Venturini Motorsports car. Chandler Smith also in a Venturini car in fifth.
Two young drivers proving themselves again tonight, 7th and 8th. I'd say Chase Purdy and Chris Jack. I said solid runs, but disappointing for those drivers with the speed they showed all the weekend and even in the test a couple weeks ago.
But if you look at Brandon Grasso, a 9th place run in that championship car from 1 year ago, he's got to be satisfied with that.
That's his second race with that team. It's first of this season, so he's trying to build the blocks. It starts tonight with a good top 10.
Brett Holmes overcame a bunch here tonight for another top 10 run. Remember, he flipped at Daytona, so a little bit better circumstance for him leaving the second race of the season. Sheldon Creed in second place. Mike Wallace, you're with him now.
Sheldon, that was an incredible race you and Zane put on, man. Just tell us what your thoughts are right now.
Yeah, I mean, pretty pumped. It's always nice to run up front like that all night, and I didn't really know if we were going to have another yellow. There were like 33 to go when we had that last caution, and I figured I'd just get as much as I could get on that restart, and Zane chose the bottom, so I was like, I'm going to get all I can get on the top, and I got off 2 really good, got clear, and then I kind of, like, you try to run for a few laps. You try to get hard laps on new tires, and then you got to conserve, and you really never know if you're going to get that yellow again. So just try to conserve there at the end, and Zane got his chance and got by us, and then just trying to hold on there, but really happy with our car tonight. I think Zane maybe was a little bit better through the center, but from practice till now, the guys killed it. Jeff, Pat, Matt, everyone that works on this thing, United Rentals, General Tire, everyone that supports us this year, Amortega, RTL, my whole family, my grandpa, my mom and dad, everyone that gets me here. This is rad, and we're going for long term here. We're going for a championship, so we're looking pretty good, a third and a second.
Well, you can tell he's from California because that was rad, everybody. So back up to you guys.
Thank you, Mike. Indeed. I'm surprised we didn't get a stoked out of that as well. We take a look at the results outside of the top 10. Natalie Decker finished top 5 at Daytona after winning the pole. An 11th place run for her and Ryan Repko, and that Mason Mitchell Motorsports car winds up in 12th.
And a battery change for Riley Herbst back to 13th. 46, Thad Moffitt, he had an okay night, but a tire late in the going, I believe, was the nemesis for him. Back to 14th at the finish.
Everybody here, honestly, probably a little bit disappointed. Gus Dean had a good car tonight and then had some trouble in the 32 machine. Joe Graf, Travis Braden looped it right in front of the leaders. These guys will have another chance in a couple of weeks in Salem, Indiana. There is the famous trophy. Zane Smith now owns the famous Nashville guitar as a winner here at this racetrack.
Crew Chief Jeff Stankiewicz right there with the beard and the hat. And I said, man, if I had your beard, he said, I should have kept it longer. I trimmed it this week. But they are celebrating for a very good reason in the most celebrated victory lane when it comes to short track racing.
Good job.
Here at the Fairgrounds Nashville with that guitar.
Let's go back to Mike Wallace with Harrison Burton.
Well, I'll tell you what, I watched this little boy when his mom, Kim, used to carry him around the Cup garage area, and I'm so excited. I think more for you, Kim, than Harrison, but tell us a little bit about your race.
Well, it was a tough race. You know, we elected to skip qualifying and kind of work on our car and miss tech, you know, as time-wise. So we started in the rear, and it was all about saving those general tires and keeping those underneath us. So it was really, really tough to do that, but I'm glad that I got a great spotter in Brandon McReynolds tonight that was helping me, and I was able to do that, and we just moved up through the field slowly and surely, and we ended up with the top 3. So I knew that was going to be hard to do, but I'm glad that we got it done.
Okay, so I have to pull Kim in here. Kim and Jeff Burton. This is their little boy, and you've been around this race world forever, hon, but you are so excited every time I watch you at a race.
I just don't do well hiding my emotions, unfortunately. If I could be somewhere over there and no one could see me, that would be better, but it's just how it is.
All right, well, we're excited for the family. The guys up top want to talk good about you. Good job tonight.
Harrison Burton won at Toledo last year. Zane Smith gets the Nashville guitar here in Victory Lane for the Music City 200, the second race of the year for the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards. We still got some more conversation to go here from Nashville. We'll be right back.
Give us the work no one else wants to do. We don't just go against the grain, we grow it. Give us the frontiers.